Hello everybody, my name is Now Raven, and welcome to another Node stream. So today we're doing FNAF 3 and 4, and I'm really excited. So, how's everyone doing? I'm really excited for this. Everyone's going to be here in a moment. They might be just a little bit, but they'll be here, I promise. Rem might not make it. We do have a replacement. In that case, Rem will appear on a future one, so... UFG is my favorite TV rabbit, straight crow. Actually, I am Narrow Raven, alright, and the canonical variant of me is, what was it? It was Big Crow, I think it was. There's fan art of Big Crow out there, because it was a character I had in Warframe. No, Cryo's coming, he just messaged, be there in a couple minutes. If he's not here in a couple minutes when he joins, I'm going to give him so much crap.
Hello.
There's Cry Knight. See, Withered, I told you he was joining.
Yeah, I knew. What, do you think I would forget?
I mean, you did forget like a week ago.
Yeah, but that's not that was a week ago. This is today.
Gert says hi. Thank you, TLFG, for the £2.
Dude,
tell Gert I say hi.
The stream I was just on was nettling.
I saw a little bit of it. You seemed like so out of it. Hey, there's good old Libra.
Dude, you don't understand. I think that just fried my brain. I don't know how helpful I'm going to be today.
Oh yeah, Withered is recording something for me, and he was like, "Yay, everything sounds good," but he got halfway through and realized halfway through his voice started sounding like a robot.
Okay, I gotta know, because I noticed you all and a lot of people have like the exact same profile picture right now.
One of us.
Yeah, what about it?
One of us. One of us.
Oh.
One of us.
Okay. Before you ask, this is not a cult, it's a philosophical movement.
Okay, good to know it's not a cult.
Yeah, it's not a cult. We do nothing
cult-like. This
is a philosophical movement.
Yeah, it's a church.
Praise be to the All-Father Scrung. Any other questions?
That was it.
Okay, just making sure.
One of us. One of us. One of us. How many people have we like gotten to put on the scrungle?
A lot. A lot of people are wearing the mask. How many people are in this goddamn server?
Everyone seems like almost
21.
everyone in the Minecraft
There's
server.
21.
There's 21 people in the server. There might be a couple.
Hello,
more.
Haley. Thanks for the $2 for the super chat.
Hello.
Wait, are we live?
Yes.
Yeah, we're live. Okay, we have two questions.
Hi.
So Clavis wants to know if this is a cult, and Modman said to define a cult.
So it's not a cult, it's a philosophical movement. Don't ask me what that means. And a cult is not this.
So a cult is not this.
Any other questions?
I know the definition of a cult. You ever play Far Cry 5?
Nope.
You ever play Outlast 2?
Nope.
Well, what have you watched that has a cult in it or played?
Real life.
He's not wrong.
Duh.
Duh.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you define a philosophical movement.
A movement based in philosophy.
What's the difference between a cult and a philosophical movement?
Cults are not philosophical. And cults have no movement. Any other questions?
What does Shreddy Fast Chair tell us? That we have to do behind the scenes because we can't watch the FNAF movie. Otherwise I'll get copyright straight to hell.
Withered is calling for you in the chat. Apparently it's fixed. I don't know what it is, but it's fixed.
He finally fixed his audio. Okay, you know what? It's 6 o'clock. You know what? Do we want to chat a little bit more chat and wait for Rem to get here? Because Rem said he's still resting up. If Rem doesn't make it, just know he's going through a rough time with his health right now. I won't detail what.
Yeah.
But if he can't make it, he can't make it. We'll give him a little extra time. But we can get started or chat if you want to just chat a little more. I'll leave it up to chat. I'll leave it up to chat. Also, hi Blaze.
Chat, tell Raven to get started so I can go watch something after this, because I don't know how long this is going to go on for. It might be a while.
Hey, Fast Entertainment's here. Chat time. Okay, we have one vote for chat. And it's from Terminal Error, the only person who's voted.
Damn you, Terminal Error.
I'm frolicking in fields of gold.
Alright, we have a vote for starting.
Of course. Okay, we got 2 votes for starting. Okay, if we get
right,
one more vote for starting,
majority wins.
You know what, I'll give it 14 seconds if we don't get another vote. Okay, you know what?
Okay,
Terminal just switched up on us. Okay, so
welcome to the philosophy.
Okay, chat. So here's the deal. This time I hid the Google Doc link from you all.
Probably a good idea.
All right, I actually hid it this time. It did happen, so I've hid it this time. You cannot type in the link, you maniacs.
Did you just like get like a bunch of anonymous viewers?
Yes, but they did message me, so they all had editor perms, which is great.
Oh, lovely.
So everyone was actually really respectful.
Could not be me.
That's
okay,
hilarious.
So here's what we have for today. We have the teasers, the trailer, which there's probably gonna be nothing, but still we go through everything. We have the phone calls night 1 through 6. We have all the mini games and all the Easter eggs to go through for FNAF 3, and then pretty much the same thing for FNAF 4, except it's more like the phone calls are gonna be like the mini games. So there's no phone calls in FNAF 4. And if this takes absolutely forever, who knows? I might just make a part 2 of this if for some reason this takes absolutely forever. So yeah, we're gonna start with the teaser.
This will take longer than this definitely will take longer than FNAF 2 did.
I feel like FNAF 3 will be pretty quick, but
FNAF 3, I feel like
FNAF 4.
FNAF 4 is the one that's gonna be quite a while. So I already have something ready.
Here's the thing about FNAF 3. Half of FNAF 3 is gonna be Happiest Day.
Probably true. Yeah.
What is this nerd function? Well, what are you doing in the nerd function, Echo? Are you sure you're not a nerd yourself?
Yeah, you nerd.
Okay. Also, if anyone gets a membership, there's a secret jump scare waiting for you in that window to the left. So here's the first thing we have. We have the first teaser of Springtrap with I Am Still Here, and if you brighten it, you get 3 in the bottom right, but I'll do anything of note there.
Nothing
FNAF 3.
Yeah, he's still here because he's been dead for
so
quote unquote dead.
So what do we just say? Springtrap first, like first Springtrap teaser, and then just nothing
not really much.
I just write down nothing of importance.
Yeah.
Okay, next teaser.
Next up, speed run.
Okay, now it's actually the box with the 3 with Springtrap next to it. So, I mean, the only thing of importance, though, is that, like, when you brighten it, Springtrap standing there, which you normally can't. Oh, God, Terminal just gifted 5 sub members.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
So far, it's just teasing Springtrap, FNAF 3. Nothing, like, huge lore.
Oh, God, we're about to get 5 things. So, we're also pointing out details as well. So, I think that's a detail we should, like, say, like, hey, he's here. But, yeah, so this is what just... the box.
That's what they said in the movie.
Just
okay, it's fine. It's finally on screen for me. Scrap box with all of the toys.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just saying, hey, this is after.
Yeah. So
it's after FNAF 2, which duh.
Yeah. So I'll just say when Brian's Springtrap is to the right. Also, by the way, that art, I actually had the joys of drawing that art of Giga Chad Raven.
That's huge.
Yeah, then there's he's always does it. Does anything have when you brine it? No, it just turns even more purple, so there's like nothing there. So just always does teaser. Nothing of importance. You know, it's nice only seeing one anonymous person up there, and it's one of the 2 of you, and it's not like 50 viewers.
It's not me.
Hello,
yeah, I'm currently in the doc.
Okay.
Okay, what? Then we
I was really
have
hoping
the
it
map.
wasn't you and that someone breached containment.
But yeah, when you brain the map, it just shows the vents. So I'll just say map teaser. Like, just when Brian there's vents.
Well, that's crazy.
I know, well, that's so crazy. You know, I'm just gonna put nothing of importance. You don't need to know that. Are you really a FNAF fan if you don't know that there's vents in FNAF 3?
Wait, there's vents?
There's vents?
Among Us?
Are there rats in the vents?
And William can crawl through them?
Imposter?
I was never told about the vents.
Yeah,
I don't know why there's no noise with those. I don't know why the alerts don't have noise. I need to mess with it more in the future. Okay, so we have the Guess Who with the 10.
Yeah.
This, I feel like we should, like, point out, like, there is a 10 now. Could it have been Scott was planning to do, like, a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 release, or was it something else? I don't know.
What day that teaser is released?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it 10 days before the game came out?
Because I've heard some people say that.
I don't know.
I would believe that.
One of the two of you search it up when that came out, when the FNAF 3 teasers came out.
FNAF 3 Balloon Boy teaser.
Guess Who?
Scott just confirmed what the hidden 10 on Phantom BB meant. I was planning to release 10 teasers. That only lasted for one teaser.
Is that actually what? Did he actually say that?
Yeah. Hang on. I just found the Steam comment. Hang on.
Oh yeah, I just found it too.
I'll put it in chat. Okay. Well,
that's hilarious.
I had a plan. It didn't last long.
I had a plan. I released one teaser. The plan ended.
Gave up.
Yeah, and there's nothing with the "It's All in Your Mind" teaser. So we can skip right past that. So just it's.
Well, there's the message.
There's a
like
message?
Without brightening it up.
Where?
That says it's all in your mind.
Can you link me like all of the evidence, like the website?
Just go to the FNAFarchive.org.
Yeah.
FNAF.
14. Chat spam 14 if you're a goat. And make sure to like the stream for algorithm.
FNAF 3.
I'm taking a piece of information out of TD's book.
Hello, Great Killa. Hello, Sentry.
Okay, wait. Which one are we talking about now? Are we talking about?
It's All in Your Mind.
It's All in Your Mind. Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's a message, but like, there's nothing really of note.
Yeah, it's just saying that they're phantoms, I think.
Yeah, so I don't really think it's anything like, oh my god, we need to write this down. Do we consider the top hat to be FNAF 3 or FNAF 4 teaser? Because
wasn't that a FNAF 4 teaser? I thought
like it was there because it was like the end of FNAF, but then when it was removed, that was like saying, oh, it's coming back. So you consider like the one being with it being gone, sure, but like the one with it there, should we consider that FNAF 3 or FNAF 4 teaser?
Well, I thought FNAF. Wait, hang on. When did FNAF 3 hat teaser? I have to figure out when this came out.
Oh god, Austin is spamming 14. I think he's a hard goat.
FNAF 3 hat teaser. I need to figure out when this came out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this was the FNAF 4 one, I think.
It was a FNAF 4 one?
FNAF 3.
Oh, okay, so then we'll look at that one in FNAF 4. So that's all the teasers. So yeah, there's like nothing in the teasers, which is shocking because like
there's nothing there.
FNAF 2 had more, honestly. It did have a lot more.
Surprises me.
Because FNAF 2 had like Mangle with the hook, and you know the No Place to Run has the mask with the flashlight on.
Yeah.
Like there was more in there to kind of point out as details, but this didn't really have much.
Yeah, there really weren't that many teasers for FNAF 3.
Yeah. Well, there's there's less for FNAF 2, I think. Yeah, there's less for FNAF 2 than there is FNAF 3, but there's more details for FNAF 2s.
Oh, whatever.
That's weird.
Okay, so I think we get into the video teaser, which we always just the trailer or whatever. So the two of you just get it pulled up. And then
Yeah, I have it pulled up. Are we gonna do a 3, 2, 1 go?
yeah, we're gonna do a 3, 2, 1. And chat, it's gonna be a little bit cut off at the top for you, but that's so you don't pull my IP through the Google Doc. So.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm ready
you're ready. Okay. And if we need to pause for whatever reason, we'll just say pause and just pause as quick as we can.
I think we do a full watch the first time just so we can see it all.
You know what? Fair. Okay.
Worry about pausing.
And I'm probably gonna get copyrighted from this, but what I'm gonna do is just mute the section after the VOD.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, on go.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go. Just a second, Jacob. It's not right now. Yeah, just coming soon. Okay.
Okay.
Raven, do you want Cost to pull up his backup?
Well, Rem said he'd join. You know what? I'd say probably not because of Rem, honestly, because he's gonna come and I don't want to have to kick Loaf out when Rem gets in here. Because Rem said he's gonna join. He's just resting up.
All right. Well, if we want to get him in,
I know
Loaf
for a
is
fact you did not just post a Google Doc link. I swear if that's mine,
I was about to
Wizard,
say.
Wizard, I swear to God, if you post, I know I didn't give you the FNAF 3 one.
It just says you're gullible AF.
Okay. Wait, hold on, I'm gonna click on it just to see because.
that would have been funny as fuck.
Are you sure you want to leave YouTube? Yes, go to site. You are gullible AF LMAO.
I love that.
Alright,
Withered, we
so-
love you. Okay, so I think really there's not too much of importance to note. Except
The only
for
things
the
that
Bonnie
are-
eye turning.
No,
Yeah.
I don't even think that's important. I think the
Well-
only things that are important to note are like the text.
Well, that
Yeah, I was
isn't
about to say, like, there's the text
the
that
thing is,
talks
though,
about
the eye
him coming
turning
back.
is an important detail, though, if you do consider follow me. It's a detail to point out.
Yeah.
Did that not happen in FNAF 1?
No.
Weird.
They turn
It's
their heads,
probably
but they
like-
don't move their eyes.
Probably like Bonnie seen Shadow Freddy and Follow Me or something.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's a detail we should
but
point
at
out.
the same time, I don't even think it's necessary to point out because if that's follow me, then I think Bonnie would be moving and Freddy's still on stage, so that hasn't even
True.
happened yet.
Well, yeah, but even then that's more so of a detail to point out that if this is follow me, why isn't Freddy gone?
Yeah, which means it's probably not follow. If you want to put it down, you can. I just don't think there's anything there.
Bonnie's eye moves to... That would be to his right
Yes.
while on stage. There's also the Springtrap twitching. Now, I know there's a lot of theories that could be in the safe room when he
I
just
think
gets
so.
spring locked, which I do think so. I think it's something to point
Yeah.
out that, like, William gets spring locked in the safe room and he's twitching in there. So I'll write that as
Yeah.
like a detail, like William is spring locked in a safe room. End of trailer.
Because that's
as
also
William
kind of the pose that he's
is
hitting in when we get there. That's kind of the pose he's hitting in Follow Me at the end of it.
Yeah.
Why are you scaring? Not scared. Why are you screaming right eye? Did I miss something?
because
Yeah, it's Bonnie's
Bonnie-
right eye moving.
Yeah.
Shut up, Withered. Though we have a plan for him. I feel like
See, that
this
makes me wonder.
God, is this text coming from the kids?
Yes.
Like, I'm wondering if it's either the MCI or maybe Charlotte.
I mean, considering it's we, that means it's a multiple.
I'd say it's just the kids in general.
I would say, I'd say it's the kids in general. I'd say it's specifically Cassidy.
So, and I'll write
Probably,
down text is in just we pronouns.
Yeah.
Probably like finally
When
getting revenge
referring
because now
to
he's in a
William.
suit.
Yeah, so text is in we pronouns when referring to William, so... Otherwise, I don't think there's really much else in this teaser to kind of be like, hey, look at this, guys. Look at this for your theory. So...
I think that besides the text, not really.
Yeah, because it
much.
changes.
Yeah. I don't think there's much else to go over with the trailer.
So when does chat get gambling? Everyone, what is your age in chat right now? And I guarantee you, like, half of the chat right now is underage.
I actually wonder how many people watching this are underage. Because I feel like a lot of people watching this are, like, mutuals. You know what I mean?
It's usually a mix.
FNAF 2, including the secret animatronics, has 14 characters.
Mmm.
The 14th night in Five Nights at Freddy's is Golden Freddy mode.
Mmm.
Okay. I think we get into the phone calls next. Also, again, I'm always going to say credit to Dr. Hattie 1987 for being the absolute goat of putting these on YouTube with subtitles. Yeah, okay, so we have 22, we have 15, 15, 20, 25, 17. All of you are underage to gamble. We'll do the same thing with this, except we'll do playback speed 1.5. And with this,
I'm guessing
we're gonna pause if we
I'm guessing
to.
we'll
Wait, what are we doing?
listen to the phone calls.
Yeah,
and
the
then-
phone calls.
Can you link that real quick?
Man, crying. It's the first thing that comes up when you search up FNAF 3 phone calls.
Yeah, I'm not typing all that in, bro.
Here, I just put it in the chat.
Lazy. Everyone call Crying Eyed lazy in chat right now.
Bro, if you were
Lazy!
a good
Lazy!
host, you'd have the chorus, by the way.
Okay, are we listening to like the night 1 call talking, night 2 call talking?
Yeah.
Basically, what we're
so.
gonna do, since these calls can be pretty long, basically, if there's something we need to note down, we just pause. We're not gonna go back and listen to them. Oh, I have to be here for so long. So just if you know something, just press pause, and then we'll kind of be like, oh yeah, we should write this down, blah, 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 and we'll be like, okay, I'm at this time, you're at this time, you're at this time. We'll catch up to each other.
Well, I'm guessing it's subtitled in the... Wait, hang on, let me see how the subtitles are. Okay, yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah, there's subtitles.
Yeah, we're not even gonna have to be like exact with it because it's a pretty decent block of text.
Exactly. So, okay, are you ready?
Yep.
I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
We should have this on times 2 speed, by the way.
I have it on 1.5.
Okay, I have it on times 2. I'll go down to 1.5.
Hey, glad you came back for another night. I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time.
Wait, pause.
Real quick, actually, yeah, pause. I think we just noticed the same thing.
Yeah, welcome back.
Another night.
Welcome back to another night. Yeah,
Welcome back to another night.
So this has been going on for a while.
So we've been working here for a while.
Yeah,
this is our
so-
first night in game.
That's interesting. Huh.
Yeah, so whoever's like working at Frights has been there for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so the quote is glad you came back for another night.
I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time. Me when I lie.
Promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time.
There's no way night 1 was any more interesting than the previous.
Dude, that was like an average night shift for him, dude.
Yeah. Me when I lie.
Okay, what time are you at? Because I had to go back to
16.
I'm at 16 as well. What about you, Libra?
25.
Damn.
You came back for another night.
Okay, I'm going to 25.
Just go over to 25 because that's the next like block of text.
Some great new relics over the weekend.
We may as well just look, since we're on this, we may as well look at this just to see.
Yeah, we might as well just like read the text.
The
go
attraction
box by box.
opens in like a week, so we could do that.
Yeah.
Like it's planned to open within a week, and we're here for a week, dude. So technically, if you think about it, this place burns like a day before it's supposed to open.
Yeah. so Fazbear's Fright never opens.
Yeah. So
No,
yeah. So
Very
it never
The-
like officially opens.
attraction is meant to open at the end of the week, with the quote being, the attraction opens like a week. Okay. So yeah, chat. We will also theorize throughout this, like if something pops in our head, but if not, we'll just keep going. Okay, I think we're good to go because I don't think there's anything else of note here except for the foreshadowing of catching on fire.
Yeah.
All right.
To the next block of text we go.
Yep. 3, 2, 1,
We
go.
don't even need to sync it up. Just like press play and get to the next
Okay.
box. That'll be a lot easier.
Well, no, because there's nothing in a bar, we can just keep going.
Unless we really want to listen to it, but I think as long as we have the
We
text
do
on
want to
the
listen
screen,
to it for the
that's
viewers.
fair enough.
Yeah, you've officially become part of the attraction. You'll be starring as the security guard. So not only will you be monitoring the people on the camera as they pass through, you know, to make sure no one steals anything or makes out in the corner, but you'll also be a part of the show.
I don't
It'll
see
make
anything
it
on this
really
block.
authentic, I
Yeah,
think.
no.
Now let me tell you about what's new. We found
Yeah, I
another
don't
set of
either.
drawings, always nice, and a foxy head, which we think could be authentic. Then again, it might just be another crappy cosplay. And we found
They found a
desk fan,
foxy head?
very old
You know what,
school,
pause.
metal.
That's pretty cool. What's up?
The weird thing is that they think it's authentic. How many Foxy heads of like the animatronic exist in that case of FNAF 1
Oh,
Foxy?
probably a lot, dude. I mean, real life, there's like a million bootleg.
But wouldn't they
FNAF
technically?
products.
Well, but in terms of like,
Even in universe, they have tons of merch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
true. I'm just saying like more so the fact like if they're animatronic heads, it should be pretty easy to
I mean,
identify that those were
he
made
says
for
it right
Foxy.
here. I mean, he says it right here. It might be another crappy cosplay.
True. So it might, but even
Or it
then,
might
it's
just be fan made.
true.
I don't think there's anything here, gang.
Oh, you want to know something funny?
What's
What?
up?
I got really bored during my FNAF 3 Let's Play, and I actually calculated the age of the desk fan based off of the average time a desk fan made out of metal survives for. If this was taken from a
Wrong with
FNAF
you.
location, it would have been destroyed. The average desk fan can last for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
So this thing is either like beyond cracked at surviving, or this thing is 7 or less years old.
What the heck?
Is there anything else here? I'm just gonna read through it. Nah, I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, they don't have much. Fazbear Entertainment's not popular or wealthy right now,
Yeah, no, they are just dead. All right.
which makes sense.
I think we're ready
Or
to go.
Fazbear.
3, 2, 1, go.
So, you watch the fingers.
I don't even know what time we're all at, so I'm just gonna go
Same.
ahead and text box.
I honestly thought we'd have more by now. If we don't have something really cool by next
Okay, I'm
week,
at the
we
next
may have to
one.
zip you up in a furry suit and make you walk around saying boo. But you know, like I said,
They mentioned the safe room.
They do mention the safe room, which is interesting.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, pause, because we should, right? Because this is like the first. Is this? No, well, there's certainly a mention of the safe room FNAF 2, but we didn't know it was the safe room.
Yeah.
So this would be like the flat out like, it's a safe room to us. So I think that is something to note.
There's a safe room in this building.
Wait, some guy who helped design one of the buildings say there was an extra room that got boarded up, and if that's the room Springtrap was from,
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
that's cool to note. That the designer of the FNAF 1 location still kicking it, and okay.
And he's
That, I
helping
think-
out with the attraction.
Yeah, so we should note that, I think. That the designer of the FNAF 1 location's helping with the attraction.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was Edwin.
Oh my gosh.
So some guy who helped design one of the buildings says there was like an extra room that got boarded up. Yeah, so. Because there was like, yeah. I'll say, which leads into our first mention of a safe room. Which, if you think about it, if Fazbear Entertainment's still like around, just very dead, they could sue this dude over revealing the safe room.
True.
Like, they could very well do that. Maybe that's how Edwin gets back into Fazbear Entertainment, is because they say either come back or we sue you. Yeah, and then he's kind of telling you how stuff works. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Boarded up or something like that. So we're gonna take a peek and see what we can find. For now, just get comfortable.
I don't even think that's the point of the countdown.
Check the security cameras.
Well,
I don't think
really
we're
fast.
well.
You can toggle between the hall cams and the
Oh.
cams. Then over to your far left, you can
There
look
is
up
some-
your maintenance panel.
I do have something.
Systems that may go offline.
When he says, you want to watch out for the ventilation, this place will give you the spooks, and if you let that ventilation go offline, you'll start seeing some crazy stuff.
True, because then that would imply that the
Yeah.
reason why the Phantoms appear is because of the ventilation.
Yeah, but it like kind of foreshadows the Phantoms, I believe.
It kind of
Yeah.
implies that he knows about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you let that ventilation go offline, then you'll start seeing some crazy stuff. So
Yeah. All right. Looks like that's all from night 1.
They also
Okay.
foreshadow the fire a second time. but-
They do foreshadow the fire again. Which
God
is-
loves doing that. Also, hello everyone, welcome to the stream if you're just joining in. Okay, I'll catch
Go
up
to
for
the
next
phone
May
call.
have
call.
overdone it a bit. Some of this equipment is
Yeah,
barely
I'm at the first
functional.
box of the next
I
call.
wasn't joking about the fire. That's
Yeah, I am
that's a
too.
real risk. The most important thing you want to watch for is the
And
ventilation.
there's
Look, this place will
nothing
give you
here.
the spooks, man. And if you let that ventilation go offline, then you'll start seeing some crazy stuff, man. Keep that air flowing. Okay, keep an eye on things, and we'll try to have something new for you tomorrow night.
We are nerds, that's why we're doing it.
Yeah, of course.
So you're like on the
And
first
if you're
text box
in- and
that
if
when it's
you're
ringing.
in chat, then you're also a nerd.
Yeah, you clicked on this stream.
Yeah, why'd you click, huh? If you don't want to see
I
nerds
love
talking.
this. Hey
huh?
man, okay, I have some awesome news for you. I love it.
Oh
It's so
wait,
much
that's
lore.
my Tawny. Hello.
Yeah.
There's so much lore here, guys.
So much lore.
Like, what would we? So wait, are we a male in this game?
Yes.
Because he refers to us as man.
Man is pretty gender neutral sometimes. But
Yeah, it is. You know, yeah, okay. Just making sure. Just making sure.
you
what
know,
everyone's
how
thoughts
many
were.
girls I call dude?
You know what news does he have? Like, are we like on a broadcasting station? Okay,
That's
seriously.
some awesome news for you.
3, 2, 1, go.
And okay, I have some awesome news for you. First of all, we found some vintage audio training cassettes.
Vintage
Dude, these are,
audio
free
training
storage. I think they were like
cassettes.
training tapes for like other employees. or
Yeah, the
something
phone
like
guy
that.
tapes.
So, I thought we could, like,
Do we
have
think we
them
should
playing, like, over the
write this
speakers as
down?
people walk through the attraction.
I don't think it's important.
Yeah.
But I haven't even
It
I mean, we-
implies that okay,
You're
it
not gonna
implies
believe
that they
this. We
saved
found
all
one.
of these
A
so
real
they
one.
could be
Not
reused in
a
the
command.
future.
Actually, let's pause
So-
here. On the next box. The fact that he has to like go abruptly.
Yeah, I've always found that weird.
Cause like he's like, oh dude, I'm so excited to tell you about this cool thing. Oh wait, I gotta go. Like, that's weird.
I guess. I don't really know what it could mean though.
Yeah, like who knows what it could be, but who knows, maybe it's something that like we haven't noticed or something that
That's
No.
also the last we hear of Phone Dude too. He never calls again after that.
Yeah, he never does call again after that.
Dude, that's Hudson. This is where he dies.
That's
Dude,
Hudson.
imagine if Phone Dude's Hudson.
Don't ever put that in a video. Don't
Wait,
say wait
no,
for that.
wait.
Hold up, hold
But
up.
it's on night 2.
Hold up.
Hudson dies on night 2.
Shut the
Wait
fuck
a
up.
freaking minute.
So the next block of text.
So crying out.
I'm going to the next block of text.
Okay, I'm writing
I've
that
heard enough
down
of
though,
it.
because he does have to leave abruptly for night
Do
2.
not write Hudson's name down on this document.
You know what? I'm gonna instead of Hudson.
I might actually look into Phone Dude Hudson theory.
Honestly,
Don't
yeah,
look at-
dude. Yeah.
Well, no, because they said when Hudson was still working there, the phone system wasn't installed yet. Oh yeah, there, Freddy Frostbear just pointed that exact same thing out.
All right, don't worry, it's
That's
not
why
Hudson.
there's parallel.
We're safe. Hudson is not phone, dude.
You know, I haven't gotten around to reading the books. I'm going to soon. I have them all right next to me. I just need to get to them, and I'm going to this coming week.
I'll read like some of them. I'm not gonna read every single one because I've heard there's stinkers, but like I'll read the ones people think are important.
I will say though, I do find it interesting that the Night 2 connection of Phone Dude Hudson is kind of there, but like I don't believe it. But it is something to point.
I don't think there's yeah, I was gonna say there's nothing there.
Hello.
Okay. Oh yeah, should we mention that this is at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and not Fredbear's?
I mean,
Because it brings in the spring locks and stuff later.
I guess we can bring it up, but I don't know.
Wait, what do you mean?
So you know how like he talks about spring locks and all this stuff later on, but this is taking place at a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza where he's recording these.
Right?
So when would this be then?
Probably when, like, 83 to 85 when Freddy's is open.
Do we think Fredbear's is still open at the time of this?
I mean, I think it... personally, I think not, just because I think Fredbear's closes before Freddy's opens, but...
Then that would imply that there's a spring Freddy, and we kind of were looking into that in the FNAF 2 note stream.
Because the yellow suits were moved to the Freddy's location.
That's true. So I do think this is something we should note, but I don't think we need to note it until, well, we should note it now for the context of what we're probably going to end up noting later.
Okay.
So
I don't know if that really is anything to note, to be honest, but...
Well, the reason why I say that is because, like, then when do the spring locks get kind of, like, phased out? Because then that would give us a timeline of when Circus Baby's Pizza World would exist.
Right. Right.
So... What's your new career?
Wait, that would still go on the night 2 phone call, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we're still on night 2.
Is this night 2? Oh, it is night 2. Whoops. I thought we were on night 3.
Yeah,
My bad.
We're not
Yeah.
on night 3 yet.
My bad. Okay. All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to your new career as a performer/entertainer for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. These tapes will provide you with much needed information on how to handle /climb into/climb out
Bye-bye,
of
sandwich.
mascot costumes. Right now, we have 2 specially designed suits
We,
that double as both animatronic
we specifically have
Okay, yeah,
two
pause.
specially designed suits.
So yeah, so it's 2 suits only at a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location.
Yeah, so there's 2 Springlock suits at the Freddy Fazbear's location, and none.
Yeah. So that'd be Fredbear and Spring Bonnie.
Yeah.
That is worth noting.
Yeah, so then yeah, at this point I would have to say that this would have to be when Fredbear's closes at some point. Like afterwards.
Oh, this yes.
Yeah,
this is
we have
post
2
Fredbear's
specially.
closing.
Yeah. Because another thing, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, in the books they said the Fredbear and Spring Bonnie suit were the ones from Fredbear's move to Freddy's.
That double as how does he fucking animatronics and suits. So that is even the fact that he says specially designed, like they were just designed though. Like it's new technology is weird. Because it's from an old location. You wouldn't say it was specially designed.
Hmm.
But who knows? Maybe Scott just sucks at writing, which is very true.
Could just be like Because all the other characters are just like normal animatronics, and then we have the two that are like specifically animatronics and costumes.
Yeah.
And I think all it means is that like they stopped doing that after Fredbear's.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think we can continue. Go.
Yeah.
While learning how to operate these suits, as accidents, /injuries, /death, /irreparable and grotesque maimings can occur. First, we'll discuss how to operate the mascots when they are in animatronic form. For ease of operation, the animatronics are set to turn and walk towards sound cues. This is an easy and hands-free approach.
The animatronics are set to turn and walk to sounds they hear, which is
that is something because that gives context to why Springtrap is even moving, and that confirms that one of those two suits was Springtrap.
Because I do think when you play the audio in FNAF 3, and the reason Springtrap follows it is because it's like the animatronic part of the suit hearing sound and thinking it needs to go over there.
The animatronic is controlling him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then that gives context of like, okay, we know guaranteed one of these two suits is Spring Bonnie. The other one at the moment would be up in the air.
But it's almost certainly Golden Fredbear.
So the animatronics are set to turn and walk towards sounds they hear. Turn and walk. Okay. Go.
For maximum entertainment /crowd-pleasing value. To change the animatronic to suit mode, insert and turn firmly the hand crank provided by the manufacturer. Turning the crank will recoil and compress the animatronic parts around the sides of the suit, providing room to climb inside. Please make sure the spring locks are fastened tight to ensure the animatronic devices remain fixed. We will cover this in more detail in tomorrow's
Don't think something else for night 2.
Yeah. For the face of Brave Fazbear's pizza.
Night 3.
Night 3, here we go.
Here we go.
Use less when continuing. Techniques.
Hello. For today's lesson, we will be continuing our training on proper suit handling techniques. When using an animatronic as a suit, please ensure that the animatronic parts are tightly compressed and fastened by the spring lock located around the inside of the suit. It may take a few moments to position your head and torso between these parts in a manner where you can move and speak. Try not to nudge or press against any of the spring
locks. Are we gonna
locks.
write down the fact that phone guy's just like, don't bleed out in front of the customers?
I think we should, yeah. I think we should. Okay, where was that? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention because I thought my YouTube audio wasn't playing when it was.
It is the second to last text box.
Yeah.
And on that note, there is also stuff to write down on the last text box. The rest didn't seem that important. He's just explaining how to wear the suit.
Hello.
He also,
I'll just re-listen.
He also explains what the safe room is.
Yeah, that's on the last one, which we are going to talk about.
By the spring lock located around the inside of the suit. It may take a few moments to position your head and torso between these parts in a manner where you can move and speak. Try not to nudge or press against any of the spring locks inside the suit. Do not touch the spring lock at any time. Do not breathe on the spring locks, as moisture may loosen them and cause...
Yeah, please try to maneuver away from populated areas before bleeding out as to not ruin the customer's experience. That's just morbid, dude. Like, dude, imagine you're literally just being turned into just like a bunch of ground meat, and what you have to do to company
get away from the customers.
Is get away from the customers, you loser.
Or you're fired.
Get the hell out of here.
Or you're fired.
We will have to talk about this last text box a little bit for sure, though. Like I said. That boy Eepy.
Should have gone to sleep before today's stream.
Yeah. Dummy.
Oops, sorry.
You know, sometimes I realize like how messed up FNAF 3 really is in terms of how they describe things to you.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just go to the last
imagine
text
the
box.
employees listening to this, like, what do you mean I can bleed out?
Please try to maneuver away from populated areas before bleeding out.
Yeah, and they're getting paid like 100 a week.
As always.
Okay, I'm on the last one. So as always, if there's any, go to the designated safe room. So
every location is built with one extra room that is not included in the digital map layout programmed in the animatronics or the security cameras.
So I feel we should note that there's a safe room in every location, and that the animatronics do not know of where it is because it's not programmed into them.
They don't even know that it exists.
And there's no cameras. That's the other thing. There's also no cameras.
Yeah, there's no cameras.
Yep.
So whatever happens in there, no one will ever know about it unless
Pretty
you're
much.
in there.
So every location has a safe room. With one extra room. You know, actually, we're missing another thing. It's also not even on, like, the map.
Yeah, no, it's not on the map.
Like, it's not on camera, it's not on the map, so I think we should just say the safe room is completely hidden from everything.
Yeah.
Only employees know of the safe room.
So yeah, in that case, God, this is so much to type out. So yeah, programmed in the M. So yeah, this room is hidden to customers, invisible to animatronics, and is always off cameras. I'll just write that.
And I'm gonna go ahead to night 4.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna want to put all this in a night 3. I think I just
this is all
noticed.
night 3 still.
Ah!
And then night 4, we are gonna have some stuff to talk about.
Okay, where did this change again?
I
think it was here.
Oh, spring lock failure occur, I think. Yeah.
He's still been writing everything.
The sound is night 2.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure it was night 2.
I'm gonna check.
Yeah. He's right. Because this will just tell you about the spring locks.
Yeah, the sound is night 2.
Hello, everyone joining.
Because they also need to tell you that so you know how to deal with Springtrap.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I do find it interesting that, yeah, on night 4, like, if these are recording consecutive days, something happens on, like, the 3rd day that makes a change in the company policy.
Yeah, I do. Personally, I think it's possible that these tapes were just recorded at, like, completely...
Yeah,
like,
that's what
I don't
I'm
think
thinking.
it needs to be that it was recorded one day after the other.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
But these are all from a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Exactly. And I wonder if that thing that ended up happening was the MCI.
Freddy Fazbear's was active when this spring lock failure happened that we're about to get into.
Yeah. So, alright, I think we get into the next
Oh.
Yeah, make sure you go over to night 4 now.
How much super chat till security breach? Until we do a security breach node streams? It's planned. We're doing these in order, so it's like one of the last ones we're going to be doing. Okay,
I'm gonna be real with you. Don't even ask me to be there for that one. I do not have the patience. You might have to cycle through guests.
Okay, yeah, let's pause
here.
here.
It might be a while.
Okay, y'all are gonna have to end up typing for me because I got food now. So.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming we're on the spring lock.
The sister location thing where he mentions the sister location.
Yeah.
Also, thank you for the food, Ma.
Do we have edit perms? Okay, yeah, we do.
Yeah, y'all have edit perms. And these sticky viewers don't get to see the link.
I'm thinking it's possible that it was actually William who got spring locked.
Because the thing is, like, in every interpretation of William, he does survive one spring lock failure.
Yeah, he's like in the novels and movies because he has spring lock scars in the movie as well.
Spring lock failures. This was multiple.
Yeah,
that's the thing that gets me.
At least one of them, I'm willing to bet was Afton.
But then I wonder, what caused it in the games universe?
The spring lock failure?
Yeah, like what would have caused it in the game universe? Because I'm trying to remember, did he ever explain why he was spring locked into like the Silver Eyes?
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
It's just mentioned that he's been spring locked before.
Yeah, so I wonder honestly, like, what caused him to get spring locked?
And even in the movie,
hot.
you can see like the scars on the neck when he's acting as Steve Raglan.
Yeah, true.
I didn't even notice that. That's cool, actually. I've never seen
Multiple
that.
locks in one suit?
Yeah, that's kind of the next thing I wanted to ask. Do we think that this is when it's multiple simultaneous spring lock failures?
I mean, if
do we
there's
think that's
only
one suit?
I mean, honestly, I would say so, because why would you say multiple if it's only two? Because there's only two suits. But let's say you have one spring lock, like, go off in your arm.
Because this is at the sister location. This is not at the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
True.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's a different location.
It could be me. It could be like another Freddy's though, or something.
The other thing I have to question then, if this sister location is like, oh, Circus Baby's Pizza World, there's that one suit that's ever mentioned by Baby that was used for what it was not intended for. Could that have been the suit that spring locked William?
Here's the thing I want to note. It is referred to as the sister location.
Yeah, and we have a game.
I think that's the important thing to know. I also don't think this can be about Afton, because I'm assuming that this is because no one knew about Afton dying, I don't think. Or like someone probably knew, but like when did Afton even die?
The thing is, he didn't die here. He survivived, which is something that's a constant
when
theme
did he
with
get
him.
spring locked? No, okay, you know what I mean. When did he get spring locked?
Hell if we know.
I'm assuming
the implication in the games, at least, is that he got spring locked the one time and that was it. I think. I don't think he survived multiple spring locks in the games.
I think he did though,
because something to note. Because I mean, that is a key detail of his character in a lot of media now.
Yeah.
But another detail on that. I think if someone got spring locked and survived it, do we think that they would give a fuck? Like, do we really think that Fazbear Entertainment would be like, oh no, someone died on our property? Oh, we can't do this anymore.
If it's an owner, yeah, they would.
Yeah, because Afton is like the owner of the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like he survived the spring locking, so like.
Yeah, but he would still make sure that it doesn't happen to other employees, because then how would he cover that up?
I guess.
Yeah.
You're not covering that up.
It could also been like.
Okay. Here's the thing. We do say that, but then like 2 nights ago, it's like, hey, if you get spring locked, go bleed out somewhere else so we can cover it up.
Unless maybe that the night 3 call is referring to like William getting spring locked before, and then it was like someone else that other time.
I do want to say, I do think the multiple and simultaneous does mean one suit. Like, it was multiple spring locks in the same suit.
Yeah.
And they all went off simultaneously, like, at the same time.
Yeah.
So whoever was wearing this was a dumbass. to say the least.
What suit it was.
See, I want to say it's William. The only thing throwing me off is just the sister location part.
Yeah, the sister location part is interesting.
I do want to say this. The way Baby says it was not used for its intended purpose, the way she says it feels like you should know about it. Like, yeah, you know what it wasn't used for.
Because it's the sister location. It's not just, oh, it's just another Freddy Fazbear. So it's the sister location.
Exactly. It's weird. It really is.
So that makes me think it was the one at Circus Babies. But I don't even know what suit that is exactly.
And the other thing, I want to say this. If Circus Baby and them think you're William, and the way she says, but it was not used for what it was intended. You know, like she says it with like that kind of tone of like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
That could be used as a way of like, yeah, that William was spring locked in it. But then what was he trying to use it for?
I really don't know.
Kidnap some kids, I guess. Well, the Fun Time, I know the Fun Times could do that anyway, but
yeah.
So
it's a weird line, dude.
I think we can say that that's definitely the sister location Springlock suit. I think.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna agree.
Yeah,
I think I actually believe that. I believe that now.
Yeah.
After this,
I just don't know what that would mean. We still don't know what the hell happened.
Because then it's something that's like brought into the future again. Of like, in sister location, it's another plot point again. Which means there's importance to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I actually do. Because of this, I think I actually do now believe that the spring lock was from Babies.
Hang on. I'll put that down on the dock, I guess.
guys ready to hear the biggest crunch of your life?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'm not hearing any crunch. I'm getting
I
edged.
think my microphone's noise gate is too
Bro,
good.
you're edging me.
Okay, fine. Hold on. Y'all ready for some Raven ASMR?
Here we go.
Yeah.
Did you hear that one?
Wait, are you
Bro.
gonna chew?
Bro, you're edging me. I can't hear the crunch.
I'm trying, man. My microphone's
Oh, I
just
heard
too
something.
good.
I can softly, like, I kind of hear it.
I heard him chewing.
Fight me.
I heard like a small crunch.
Also, let me know when we're good to continue.
I'm good to continue. I wrote down.
Yeah, I'm good. I was waiting for you guys.
Yeah, I'm good to keep going.
All right. Go.
Involving multiple and simultaneous spring lock failures, the company has deemed the suits temporarily unfit for employees. Safety is top priority at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is why the classic suits are being retired to an appropriate location while being looked at by our technicians. Until replacements arrive, you'll be expected to wear
Oh, should we talk about the replacement
Yeah,
stuff?
we
Yeah.
should talk about the replacements.
Yeah.
So what I find interesting is they say, keep in mind they were found on very short notice, so questions about appropriateness/relevance should be deflected, as if like there's suits that like aren't as relevant to the brand.
That or they look really
Right.
crappy.
With retrospect, do we think that these might be the mediocres?
That or
I
maybe
think
like the
that's
like the
trap.
I think that's
that
pretty
we-
likely.
Like the versions that we see in Secret of the Mimic. I mean, where
Yeah,
like you
I think-
could wear those.
Yeah.
I think
'cause
that's highly likely.
I think it's in the style of like glitch traps of the ones in Secret of the Mimic. Yeah. No, at the time of this, probably not.
Oh,
Yeah. At the time of this, it was like I doubt it was anything really.
hey, Draz just DM'd me wanting me to bring this up, which I actually do think we should talk about. Circus Baby's Pizza World had a spring lock failure before the missing children's incident. Wouldn't that help date Circus Baby's opening?
How do we know it's before the MCI again?
He mentions the MCI in a later call.
Who? The in FNAF 3.
In FNAF 3, yeah. The next call, I believe, it mentions the MCI.
Okay, we'll come back to that because I don't remember him mentioning the MCI. I haven't heard these
Okay.
in a long time.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Dude.
All right, let's keep that in mind. Then we'll probably talk about that on Night 5 then, or we'll come back to this.
But anyway, for now, the spring lock suits.
/ relevance should be deflected.
Those some clackety clacks, right?
My fault. you over there crunching, dude. Don't talk to me about clacking.
Man, don't blame me that I'm eating my pizza taco.
We're gonna have to talk about those later.
Let me guess, you want some?
Yeah.
Aight.
Is there anything else to talk about on FNAF 4? At least until later, once we see the
mean
fucking
FNAF
MCI thing. I mean, on Night 4.
I don't know. I haven't heard these in a while, so
Let's see.
yeah.
Oh
let's
wait, that's
just,
the last box. Okay,
yeah,
that's
that's
fine.
the last
That's why I'm asking.
I don't think
I
so.
repeat, the classic
Yeah.
suits are not to be touched, activated, or worn. That being said,
I'm going to
there's
Night
liability.
5. Company policy
As
regarding
always,
the safe
remember to
frame.
smile. You are the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Oh wait, he mentions that the suits are classic suits.
Oh yeah, like the original suits, I assume.
Yeah, the classic suits.
Hang on. Yeah, the classic suits are not to be touched, activated, or worn. He's talking about the don't wear the.
Yeah,
spring
but
lock
it's the fact that
suits.
your first one was classic, not new.
Yeah, because they're classics. He's referring to the Fredbear's ones.
Exactly. So that would confirm that this would be from Fredbear's Family Diner, being Fredbear and Spring Bonnie.
Yeah, I mean, do we need to write that down? I think we already kind of knew that. Do you want me to write that down?
Do people just gain into the series and all that?
Yes. Do you want me to write that down? Yes or no?
If you don't think we have to, then I don't think we have to.
Hey, I'm asking, what would you write down? Would you write this down? Because I'm typing for you.
Nah.
Okay.
Let me know
Night
when we're
5.
ready.
I'm at the second box on night 5.
Okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
second box.
This is just a reminder of company policy concerning the safe room. The safe room
Okay, go.
is reserved for equipment and/or other property not being currently used and as a backup safety location for employees only. It is not a break room, should not be considered a place for employees to hide and/or congregate, and under no circumstance should
Okay, last
Wait,
box
pause.
on night 5. Last box on night 5 has to be talked about.
Wait, I want to say this. Why is he specifically saying under no circumstance should a customer ever be taken into this room and out of the main show area?
Oh, yeah. This is what I was talking about, because on the very next box, he then says, management has also been made aware that the Spring Bonnie animatronic has been noticeably moved.
Okay, yeah.
So that's what I was talking about with, which I think that's like referring
that
to the
probably is implying
MCI.
the MCI, yeah.
Yeah.
Which means whatever happened at sister location happened Huh.
So that's what Draz was talking about earlier with like placing
Yeah.
Circus Babies opening.
Like, I've always said that Circus Babies opens from anywhere from 83 to 85, but shuts down, and then the bunker's made, and when we play the game, it's later on.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, we're not playing when the
I
place
think-
just opens. It's been a couple of years.
I believe Elizabeth dies before the MCI kids right now, so.
Under no circumstances should a customer ever be taken into this room. Into the safe room. Implies MCI, and then let the spring body animatronics been noticeably moved.
Specifically Spring Bonnie.
Yeah.
Which is even more foreshadowing that who we're facing off against
Yeah.
is the murderer in the Spring Bonnie
Yeah.
suit.
This also probably confirms that, or I guess technically it doesn't if Afton went through multiple spring lock failures, but it does further imply that it's a different spring lock failure we hear about on night 4. So again, it probably is Circus Babies, which weird.
Yep. Weird. All right, ready? Continue.
Hang on. This happening after the.
taken into this room.
I'm just gonna get to the next box.
Management is
It also makes sense why they haven't like they didn't really say they even caught the person who moved the Spring Bonnie suit. It's the owner.
Yeah. All right, night 6, last phone call.
Night 6. All right.
also been made aware that the Spring Bonnie animatronic
I'm getting
Previously mentioned safe rooms are being sealed at most locations.
Most locations is what always gets me.
Remember to smile. You are the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Oh yeah, because there's multiple Freddys.
Yeah. So the fact that there's multiple Freddys, again, just implies the sister location is definitely Circus Babies.
Yeah.
Hello.
Because I don't think Fredbear's is still in effect anywhere.
Yeah, it's
Well, you know,
a
it's
thing that
definitely not,
says
because the classic
most
suits have been
locations.
retired.
So I wonder how many locations didn't have them removed.
At least the MCI location.
Yeah, FNAF 1's location too, and FNAF 2's.
Mentioned. Safe room.
Yeah, FNAF 1 and 2's location. MCI location. Are there any other locations that we know that still have their... Well, they're being sealed. So FNAF 1's was sealed. FNAF 2's was still
Yeah.
open.
Oh, like any other locations with a safe room still?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's most locations.
There's an old location in Fetch, but they don't really talk about the safe room.
Dang it, Scott.
Dang you, Scott Coffin.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's another thing. In Fetch, I'm pretty sure they say like there was a bunch of Freddy's, but then something happened at one of them, which caused a lot of them to shut down.
Yeah. Also, I do want to say this because Rose made a good point. They want to play devil's advocate and stuff like that. I do encourage chat to get involved with these because you may notice something that we might miss.
Yeah, call us stupid if you must. You'd be wrong. We're geniuses, but you know.
So, yeah, please, chat, get involved with this. If you have your own theories or anything, point them out. If something jumps out at you like, hey, that's weird, mention it. Oh yeah, the Into the Pit safe room isn't sealed, but that's MCI happening though. That'd be before it gets sealed.
Wait, the safe room's into the pit?
Yeah.
Oh wait, do you mean the wait, which into the pit? There's like 3 of them?
I know in the game, and I think it's also in isn't it in Return to the Pit? Or am I, because there's like a random room that you somehow get to.
I have to look. I don't remember if it was mentioned in Return to the Pit or not.
Safe room is never explicitly mentioned, but there's like a room that feels like a safe room.
Okay. I do want to mention something on the next box whenever we're ready.
Go off.
They say that they're just constructing a false wall over the old door base.
Yeah, just to hide it from.
Yeah, which I think explains how William can get in the safe room during Follow Me, but it still is like closed off when they're looking for stuff in the old Freddy's locations.
I'll put that down.
Wall.
So I just wanted to bring that up because I see some people get confused by that sometimes.
I think that's the first time Scott had a good idea with story writing here.
Well, okay, he says it's a false wall, but also he says that if you left anything in there, it's your own fault, which implies that no one can get in.
Yeah.
So,
and though if William's the owner, I assume he would know how to get through the wall,
Mm-hmm.
through the false wall.
can you just get through a false wall? Is there like, how'd you do that?
Smash it with a sledgehammer.
How do you cover it back up?
I'm pretty sure you can just open one if you wanted to.
With a false wall, you build it back up with some more bricks and cement.
Do we think William could do that? Do we think William's dumbass is capable of doing that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll put it down.
It's William. Speaking of William, what's up, William Afton? Welcome to the stream.
You.
So William,
hello,
us,
William
can you
Afton
tell us
himself.
everything that happened from like 1979 all the way up to like 2030?
Yeah, that would be great, please.
Yeah, can you tell us everything that happened, please? Yeah, no, the phone calls have not implied MCI 83 to me in any way so far.
No.
If anything, it's implied that it takes after 83. Because of Fredbear and Spring Bonnie being moved to a Freddy's location.
I think we're done with the phone calls.
Please.
That it? Oh yeah, that's the last box. So.
Yes!
That was fast. I noticed in the FNAF games, the phone calls always get shorter and shorter.
Yeah, I think FNAF 3s are especially
What in
short.
the fuck?
Okay, so we get into the follow me stuff.
Yeah. There's a human skull and Follow Me.
Okay,
Oh, FNAF Wiki! Come here, my pretty rotten son.
My rotten son!
At least the FNAF
rotten
Wiki is better than the
son.
Theory Wiki.
Ungrateful boy.
Ungrateful boy. Okay, well, I think all there really is to mark down like the appearances of the animatronics that we move, and then like the order of the like Easter eggs that guide us, and then just kind of detail that on the final night William gets spring locked. I think that's all we have to do for the follow me mini games.
Okay, hang on. One thing at a time. So, what about the designs?
Okay, so just mark the order of like when we control them, so it'd be Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Crying Child.
Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Dead Child.
Dead child.
Yep.
Probably Cassidy.
Then we also have William being spring locked at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's the fact that the calls explained why they couldn't go in that specific room, but
Yeah, so it's still something we should point out. With Purple Guy, the way he like is dying is the same position and kind of area as he would in the trailer.
Yeah.
yeah. With FNAF 3 alone, the follow me minigames are pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
There's the fact that William is using Shadow Freddy to lure them away, though.
That is interesting.
Yeah, that is something to write down. Yep. Which I'm sorry, I've always wondered why the top of Shadow Freddy's head is so much more like vibrant of a purple than his body.
Oh yeah, that's weird. Which I guess that would also, because if Shadow Freddy is helping Afton, that wouldn't that also just like tell us that that Shadow Freddy at least is not a good entity?
Mm-hmm. Then you can also say, well, he's releasing the spirit so they can get his revenge. There's that too.
Yeah. So Henry also like refers to Shadow Freddy as a trap.
If that's even what he's referring to.
I'm pretty sure it is, because he says like William like lured them all there again, then robbed them all they had again. And in Follow Me, he's like luring them to the safe room a second time. So it's like the MCI happening like a second time.
Okay, back to work. I'm done eating.
All right, you're taking over type, and I'm not doing this shit for you.
Wow, what a guest you are.
Damn.
You should get the fuck out of here. Hey, Tommy, was Draz typing for you?
No.
Yeah, fuck you, Draz. I know you in chat still.
I have not typed yet, so I can type if you all want.
No, but this is a chance to insult Draz. I'm taking it.
Oh. Yeah, screw you, Draz, you're dumb.
Yeah, fuck you, Draz. You fucking,
No one likes you. Go away.
Yeah, go to hell, Draz anus.
Oh, damn.
So there's night one, get BB, double click,
EB double click.
and a set of 4 rectangles to lead you to BB's Air Adventure and Mangle's Quest. Then night 2, we get 4 gray cupcakes. To get you to Chica's party. You know, if you think about it, if Follow Me is like some sort of arcade machine, we're technically going 2 layers down if you think about it.
Don't you start with me.
Just don't you do it. Who do you think you are? You know, the 395248 being reverse of William's like hex code always makes me wonder, like, do these other things like have like
is it?
ties to William?
I did not know it was reverse of William's text code.
Yeah, yeah. Purple Guy's hex code is
that's pretty cool.
84269 3.
That's actually pretty cool.
395. I put 396. Whoops. I'm getting washed.
Getting washed. You've been there.
Man, where have you been with your
I
content?
Chilling.
Washed.
I just posted like last week.
Ah, yes, the least complicated name ever.
the
RWQ FSFASXC.
You want to know, Crying Eye?
Oh yeah.
The first
What's
time
up?
you've uploaded in months.
This is the second
You're
time
an
I've
urban
uploaded
legend
in
just
months.
trying to grasp
I
his
uploaded
victory like
twice
he used
in
to
April.
have.
Hey man, I'll come back. I got a plan. It's not very thought through, but it's a plan.
Actually, I don't think the puppet poster's in the Follow Me minigames.
Well, I know, but that's what you do on night 5, so. Okay, is there anything else we need to... I think that's everything here, so I think it's just a... Is there anything in secret minigames that we really need to note?
I don't. You're finding
There is one
kids.
thing I've noticed.
What's up?
When you free a kid in a specific minigame, that specific kid will show up in the happiest day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
always in the
remember
family.
writing down like the exact order of it. It's left to right. Like if you did it by like what Scott's telling you to do with like the BB double click, then
Yeah. But isn't it because like BB is Gabriel, then in Chico we get Susie, the
Yeah.
Fredbear minigame gives us Fritz, and the Shadow Bonnie one gives us
Bonnie.
Jeremy.
Yeah, which is really weird because like what does Foxy have to do with RWQ in stage 01?
Yeah. That's another thing. We see Shadow Bonnie free a kid. Or RXQ.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm just gonna group them all into one, honestly. Except for Happiest Day, obviously, because that one, there's other things we should know.
that one's different.
So,
Okay, are we talking about Happiest Day in context of like FNAF 1 to 3 or in context of the whole series?
and more so
'Cause those are
context
different
for the
conversations.
notes in context of FNAF 1 to 3, but if we want to theorize a little bit on it in the context of the whole series.
Okay, because in the context of 1 to 3, Crying Child is not a person. So that's not even like a conversation
Yeah,
to have.
so in this case, it would be Golden Freddy would be the receiver. Or Cassidy, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which in the context of FNAF 1 to 3 makes perfect sense.
Exactly. So, secret minigame.
Although I still do
in
think it's
general.
important to note that like even though FNAF 4 wasn't a thing at all, like it is the Fredbear's Family Diner layout in the Happiest Day minigame.
Yeah, that is
Like that is the Crying Child's memory.
that is the Crying Child's memory reversed, and it's weird to ignore that.
In FNAF World as well, there's a lot of like it seems like at the beginning of the game the pair of eyes is like talking to the Crying Child, and once you find all the clocks, that's when he says like the pieces are now in place for you, you just have to find them, and those clocks are also related to the FNAF 3 minigames. Which I feel like makes it, to me, that just makes it seem like all of these minigames might be the Crying Child's memories.
It makes more sense in the context of it being Crying Child's memories, because he would have been the only spirit to really have seen all of those things besides the marionette.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to say that the MCI kids, you know, when they were like 3 years old, went to Fredbear's. But if you take the context of like, yeah, if Crying Child's and Golden Freddy, he would have seen FNAF 2. He would have seen Fredbear's.
I think even without him being Golden Freddy, it's still like clearly like his experiences.
Yeah, it's very clearly
FNAF.
his experiences, yeah. Alright, I think we get to the Easter eggs next, so let me get that up. FNAF 3 Easter. Okay. Yes, there's the paper buddies in there. Bonnie and Freddy are the ones who appear in office this time, and the boy one is always in the office, so he doesn't move. So is there anything that we should kind of note there? Plus they're on different sides as well, I think, aren't they? Because Freddy goes on the right and the Bonnie one goes on the left.
Is there anything to note with that?
But yeah, can you repeat that for me? I got a little sidetracked.
Of course. So Paper Freddy, Paper Bonnie appear in the office. Paper Freddy appears on the right side, whereas Paper Bonnie appears on the left, which is a reverse of what we see in Stage 01, but an accurate representation of how we see them on stage in FNAF 4, if it's Fredbear and Spring Bonnie.
I don't think that's necessarily important, to be honest. Like, I don't think their exact placement means much.
Yeah, I'll just say nothing of importance to note. There's a lot of just nothing burgers in FNAF 3.
There is Shadow Freddy, though.
Well, yeah, that's a crumpled Freddy suit.
And also some of the posters change, like some of the Spring Bonnie poster. Some of the posters turn into Spring Bonnie. That's what I'm trying to say.
The detail that I love about it is that one of those posters is missing a right eye and the other one isn't. So it's an intentional detail that he's missing a right eye, which I love.
Yeah.
So the crumpled Freddy suit, I mean, yeah, it's Shadow Freddy. Which a theory I've had recently is I've always wondered, since Shadow Freddy's so close to you in that game, and like in FNAF 4 show, it's like, what did you bring home? What if the thing you brought home was Shadow Freddy like possessing you?
Ooh.
Hmm.
Yeah, because he does show up on the later nights.
Exactly. So it'd technically be picking up right from FNAF 3. Essentially, it would be, so it would make FNAF 4 a sequel.
Yeah, that I agree with.
Okay, there's the cupcake drawings. Let's not forget the cupcake drawings.
Ah, yes, we can't forget the cupcake.
Because
the cupcake drawings. I remember
most
those.
important thing.
Because there's a normal one and a golden one. Look, when I said we were doing these streams, I never said we were going to be looking at important things. I just said we were looking at everything to determine if they were important.
Yeah.
And the answer will probably be no a lot of times.
So, here we are.
Are we going to talk about, like, the general story at all?
Of
No.
what, FNAF 3?
Okay.
We probably should, but I don't think that happened too, so...
Because the general story of FNAF 3, like, by game standards, is explained in the phone calls.
Like,
yeah.
I guess more so, like, with everything we know, like, what would the story be, like, put together?
I mean, the story would be that you've been working at this location for a little bit, and then you face off against a murderous man in bunny suit, and then you burn the place down, and then the end.
Okay, on the note of us working there before, because I had never noticed that, like, for another night thing until today. It implies that I don't think we sought, whoever we're playing as, I don't think they sought out Fazbear's Fright for the sake of, I must find William Afton. They were just kind of working here.
Yeah.
And they burned the place down, presumably because, faulty murder
wiring.
robot. Or maybe it is faulty wiring, even.
Yeah, because in the newspaper it says the cause was faulty wiring.
Quite frankly, the fact that we're working at Fazbear's Fright, and that it's been going on for a while, but even longer before Springtrap shows up, low-key might give more credence to the fact that we're not playing as Mike in this game.
And that's Hudson.
Because why would... Yeah. Not even specifically Hudson. I mean, it can be Hudson, I guess, but that's a whole weird thing because he dies 2 nights in. And again, no phone system yet.
Yeah,
but
that's
it gives credence.
Narratively, Mike would make the most sense.
Yeah, narratively, Mike makes the most sense.
The other thing I do want to say, though, with Hudson's story, I really would do want to preface this. Scott did say a lot of things changed for FNAF 1 through 4.
Yeah.
In the new era. So one of those changes could be the protagonist and the phones being a thing.
It could be. It would just be really weird to make it a character that died 2 nights in.
Exactly. That's what makes it really weird to me. Because then why don't we die on night 2?
Because I can look past the phones, to be honest. I can look past the whole the phone system was implemented. I can look past that. Dying 2 nights in versus there being a 6th night. That one's harder.
Another reason I feel like Mike has to be the player is because the player is the one who interacts with the different pieces that unlock the secret happiest day minigames.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't think like a random guard or like Hudson would be like thinking about like, oh, I gotta help these spirits find rest.
Unless it's like Henry. Right, that would be the only logical answer from there.
Yeah.
Henry too would work, but
who knows what Henry's deal is, quite frankly.
And another thing is, in the interview, Scott said he wanted FNAF 3 to feel like a personal experience.
Yeah, which again, that could mean Mike and Henry.
Yeah,
I think it's impossible to get who it is from just the game alone.
It's very.
Like, you need to use
this is
context
just
for everything
weird.
else.
yeah. I mean, Henry works too, but I do want to point out that like our player does help the spirits.
Yeah.
I mean, I do find there is one thing I kind of do want to point out. It is interesting that FNAF 3's fire would be an accident, but Pizza Sims would be on purpose. So that makes me wonder, would that also imply that maybe Henry either knew or even experienced this in that case as well? And got the idea from that?
I've never seriously thought about Henry Fright Guard before. Like, I've never really thought about it, but I think it might not be the most unlikely thing.
I don't think it's unlikely, but I don't think it's likely.
The newspapers do mention that foul play has not been ruled out for the cause of the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think we should... I'm going to pull up the newspaper. FNAF 3 Burns newspaper. I'm going to read it out loud, and y'all just tell me if you catch something. A new local attraction based on an ancient pizzeria chain burned down overnight. Authorities have not ruled out foul play, but at the moment seems to have been caused by faulty wiring. Very little was found at the scene. The few items that were salvaged will be sold at a public auction.
Mm.
So they don't rule out foul play, but it just seems to be caused by faulty wiring. That's like the leading theory at the time of this newspaper.
Yeah, so I'm thinking the fact that like foul play is put in there might hint that like our player character burned it down, which would also actually explain maybe like why the phantoms appear burned as well.
Yeah. So foul play is not ruled out. However, the theory is faulty wiring. I think that's really the only thing we could say for that is that, like, yeah, it's faulty wiring. But there could be foul play, which then means that whoever did burn the location down did it for whatever reason. What happened to the auction items? I don't think we ever get the answer to actually flat out what happened to the auction items.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think that ever got brought up again.
Yeah, like the auction, like the closest thing we got was in a Pizza Sim when there's like that like auction house like thing you can buy from. But none of it's FNAF 3 items. So like yeah.
So what the heck?
Yeah, so what the hell?
So like that's the only time we really get an auction again and nothing is related to FNAF 3, which is so annoying. All right, I think it's time.
Oh yeah, rare finds auction.
Yeah, rare finds
no
auction.
FNAF 3 stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So like, what the heck?
Okay, do we want to do FNAF 4 tonight? Because
I think we could get started.
We could do some of it. Because like, FNAF 3 took us an hour and a half. FNAF 4 is gonna take us a lot longer.
Oh boy.
Also, Rem never came back.
Big sad.
Yeah, I think Rem.
So if we want to like wait to try and get Rem in,
one of the two of you, Adam, see how he's doing. And yeah. Because yeah, with FNAF 4, there's a bunch of dialogue to go through. But the thing is I don't want to do that on stream. I think that's more something I'll do on my own. Maybe in like a Discord call when I got free time, because there's so much dialogue.
Yeah.
But yet again, there's also not that much either. But it's a pain to have to go through and find them all. Like, it's something we'd have to watch someone's gameplay to basically see it all.
Up to you guys.
Yeah, it's up to y'all.
I think we should probably hold off.
Okay, I think this stream, I think we could definitely get through the teasers, the trailer. Yeah, the mini games are on here. So
Mini
we'll
games
take
are
that.
going to take a while.
The Easter eggs we can go through.
We can get through the teasers.
I think we
and
can get through the
trailers,
teasers, the trailers, and the Easter eggs. I think we can get through those.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay, then. All right, so let's look at the teaser. So there's the Freddy hat one.
Let me pull the teasers back up. Let me pull the.
My
Yeah, I'm
lord,
gonna
if
go on
you
the teaser
brighten up that
archive.
Freddy hat, it just turns into a beam of just holy light.
Yeah. Okay, do we want to talk about the ones at the end of FNAF 3 still? Like the hat and then the hat going away? Or...
Well, these are FNAF 4. We ruled that these are FNAF 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering, do those actually like mean anything important? Or
I don't
is it
really,
just like,
I don't really think so.
Mm.
thanks for
No.
playing, actually we're back.
I feel like it's, yeah, definitely of like a, hey, Freddy
I
got
think the
his hat.
fact that yeah, I was gonna say the fact that the hat disappears implies that hey, there's more. And then like in the next teaser, we see
Freddy holding his hat.
Yeah, Nightmare Freddy holding the hat. Which does Nightmare Freddy have? I need to look that up. Does Nightmare Freddy have his hat?
Yes, he does.
He does. Okay.
Yes, he does have his hat. Yes.
For some reason, I didn't remember. I've never seen the top of Nightmare Freddy's head.
Okay, so there's nothing there. So now we get into Freddy's teaser. Freddy is God.
Freddy is God.
So yeah, so Freddy's when Brian says nightmare on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is obviously just like, oh, you're dreaming. This is a nightmare.
Yeah, so I'll write that down only because it's still something to note because later on it'll be important why. When brightened text saying nightmare appear. Okay. I think that's kind of like, isn't it with all of them?
The others say like, was it me?
Well, when Brian
they
isn't
do
it
also
all
say
nightmare? Yeah.
Oh wait,
do-
yeah, you're right. My bad.
Nightmare
my bad.
Bonnie, I will say it says, was it me?
I don't know if it says it for Foxy.
No, it says out of order. That's why it's important to
Yeah.
mark these down because he's the only one that doesn't say nightmare.
Yeah, his says.
Yeah, it's out of order. I can see that.
Is that out of order?
Dude, I thought it was murder at first.
I thought it was too. But
It
I
is
think it
out
is
of order. That's been picked to pieces.
Yeah, no, I can see it. I can see like the spaces.
okay, yeah. Ah, dang! Because I thought if it said murder, I thought that would have been cool.
That would have been really interesting.
Since like it could be like, even though what Mike did technically wasn't murder, it would still be like a Foxy bro.
but
foreshadowing, I feel like.
imagine it said murderer, and that was like why. That would have been
Also,
been sick.
don't
I can't
forget,
even lie.
87 appears in both of his eyes as well.
Yeah,
Does it? I don't really see it.
You have to have it at a
appears
certain
in one of
brightness.
them.
This is like way too bright to see it.
Okay.
Honestly, if you don't brighten it up and zoom in all the way, you can kind of see the outline of the 8-7 on his right eye.
On his right eye.
On it.
Right eye.
Like here, let me. Yeah, like you can
Oh yeah,
slightly see
Draz
it.
is bringing up the 87 stuff in the source code as well for the teasers.
Yeah. Are we going?
We're
are
not doing
talking
source
about
code. We're
source
not
code,
doing
aren't we?
source code. I don't want to torture ourselves that much, okay? Even all right, like at the end of the day, even I have respect for my guests' mental state.
Fair enough.
All right, if anyone wants to get that deep into FNAF lore, start going doing your own research. All right. All right, there's a Fredbear hat that says property of, you know, FR, and then RER. So,
Yeah.
right. So, yeah. So, purple hat when brightened text saying property of. Remember how hype everyone was when they saw that, by the way? When they saw the purple hat and bow tie and then property of FR. And then people were like, wait, Fredbear's Family Diner slots perfectly there. Everyone was like, we're getting a Fredbear's game! But no, we got Kid inside of a house.
I mean, it still was a Fredbear's game.
It was a
The
Fredbear's
mini games,
game.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and then there's the the stomach of Nightmare Fredbear we gotta look at.
Yeah.
Look what it says at the bottom when brighten up.
Yeah, property of me.
Is that what we think it says?
Oh, I thought it said like probably me.
Yeah, I don't think it's property of me. I mean, it could be.
Well, if you think about it, property of me.
But it also says,
Oh, because like
here's the thing.
property of Fredbear's.
I
yeah.
get what you mean, but it also says, or was it me in the corner of this image?
And then it says it was probably me.
Yeah, because in this image it asks, or was it me, like in the top left. So that being response makes sense.
Yeah, what would probably fit there is text.
I
Either way,
think so.
I think it's probably me.
Actually, I think it's spaced out better than property of me.
Because
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say it's property of me.
I think like it would be cool if it was property of me, but I also don't know what that would mean in context of this.
I like thinking it's probably me just because I think it's funny.
Like, I think probably me is way funnier too.
Also, now we get into plush traps teaser. There's
Terrible
not really
things
anything
come
here
in
to know
small
other than
packages.
like you could see outside.
Yeah, you can see
Flesh
outside.
Grab came in an Amazon package.
If you brighten the image, you could see the outline of the doors.
Yeah, but that's just in the game. I don't think that's anything we need to like
Yeah.
note.
Terrible things come in small packages.
Lovely.
Like an Amazon package.
Yeah.
Do we consider the end thanks for playing a part of FNAF 4? Well, it says associated with FNAF 4 in this, but like...
Yeah. But there's
It's
nothing to talk
technically,
about.
but it's like after FNAF 4 released, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
put the... Wait, I just realized. Oh.
There's also a
Well,
question
okay.
mark next to the
Wait,
end.
I just realized
No,
something.
there
We need
isn't.
to do the Halloween teasers.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
Those
That's
are
not that
on,
bad.
Those are on FNAF World, and there's only 2.
Is there only 2?
Yeah.
No, there isn't. There's 1, 2, 3,
There's more
4,
than
5.
there's more than 2.
There's
They
5.
tease like every Halloween character, I'm pretty sure.
Wait, where are you? Wait, where are you seeing those?
There's Jacobani, Nightmare BB,
Yeah.
the Freddy plushie, the Nightmare Mango one, and the Jacko Chica jump
never
scare.
mind, never mind.
Yeah,
Let's get them
there's
out of the
five.
way.
Because I saw them on FNAF World.
I mean, Jacko Bonnie has like nothing.
Yeah. Quite frankly, they're all quick. Jocko Bonnie has absolutely nothing. Nightmare BB has hello, which that's what he says.
Yeah. The only one that I think is important is Nightmare Owns, because that render is not in the game. I don't think.
I think it is.
Is it?
He takes over for Nightmare, so
Yeah,
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I think that's where
It's
he
been a
is,
while since I
on-
played the Halloween update, so I might be misremembering.
Don't wake the baby.
Even if it's not, that's definitely showing he'll like take over Nightmare anyway, because Nightmare also goes on the bed.
Is don't wake the baby him?
If only that
referencing
was the real
Markiplier.
Scott Cawthon, if only.
I think it is, yeah.
I think that's just him referencing Markiplier.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do Halloween teasers. I do want to
go-
know, though.
Oh my gosh, I got jump scared by the Scott Cawthon thing.
So I need to ask this. Do we think the Freddy turning gold is anything?
No,
I think it's just it being bright up.
I think that's just a byproduct of the lighting. I don't think. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking too. Because even with normal Freddy, if you brighten him, he turns yellow. So
Mhm.
yeah, I just don't think there's a single thing of importance here. I really don't think there is.
I actually don't think there's anything important in these teasers.
Yeah, I don't think there is.
Mangles has come hang out. Jacko Chica is see you soon.
The genuine
And that's all of
day
them.
that Scott appears in my chat is the day that I will retire.
Didn't he do that already? I thought
He did that in
Show the
T-Dreads.
TVs.
Oh, those T-Dreads.
It wasn't
Okay.
mine. If it was mine, I would have retired. That's FNAF 4. Okay, Final Fantasy 4 trailer. Alright, I'm loading up. Time to get
All right,
copyright struck again, boys!
Yeah, Scott wasn't using his own music yet.
Dude, I hate playing FNAF 4 because the ambience is copyrighted.
Wait, is it?
Yes!
Yeah.
Wait, that's so dumb.
No, because everything in the first 4 games was like stock sounds and stock music.
It's so annoying, dude, and like there's nothing you can do about it. So if you ever do a FNAF 4 series, don't think you're gonna get any money, because you're not.
Really, the only ever problem I've had with FNAF 4 was the minigame music, like the ending music, Hard to Say Goodbye.
Dude, every single one of my FNAF 4 videos got copyright struck.
Damn.
That's why
I'm
on my
sorry.
extras channel, I have the unedited versions of them where it doesn't mute the audio.
Well,
All right. Are we
Alright,
ready to watch the trailer?
Yeah, so let's
I
watch
had the
it
trailer pulled up.
Yeah, so let's watch it one time over, and then we'll kind of look through it, see if there's anything we should point out.
All right, on go.
Oh, actually, wait a minute. I don't want it on 1.5 speed.
Yeah. Make sure it's on normal speed.
Yeah, okay. Now are we
I'm
ready?
ready.
I'm ready.
All right, go.
Damn, no countdown. What the fuck?
Dude, you said it didn't matter before.
Yeah, because there were blocks of text.
Shut up, Cryonide.
Yeah,
Just shut the fuck up and watch.
I have to count how many times it clicks.
No, we don't.
It's 6 times, Andrew confirmed.
Shut the fuck up. DCI. Check the closet. Watch your back.
That's a badass trailer. I love it.
Yeah. That was a good trailer.
I actually do have a couple things to say.
What's up?
The lines at the start where it's like, what do you think you see?
Yeah.
What?
So,
Because then in Ditto we have like the reveal of it being illusion gas.
Celia,
yeah.
what game do you think you are playing?
FNAF 4.
Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
For me, it's playing with my pancreas until it implodes.
Type shit.
Type shit. Okay, but what if you brought home is something to note?
Yeah. Yeah, because I definitely think like, because also the FNAF 4 menu screen is the Nightmare animatronic standing in front of the house, like outside of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
one thing Desk Fan pointed out to me was that the text changes from red to yellow, which he was thinking, what if this is the plush Fredbear speaking to you in this one?
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
That makes sense.
And then, yeah, then
I do
there's-
think the Crying Child was put in the experiment rooms first.
Yeah, he was definitely patient zero.
Yeah.
So I do find it very interesting that there's a lot of weird stuff with plush Fredbear, and I also find it weird that FNAF 3 we could tie it back to like the kids in general. With this we can tie it to plush Fredbear. Like it seems like in FNAF 3 he started tying like the text in his trailers to like characters.
Yeah.
Fredbear plush is causing the FNAF 4 minigames. I could see that if you went with like this is Fredbear talking to you about it, because like why would he be here?
I do think I do believe Will Plush. So I do think he's like the Fredbear plush is meant to like be like the crying child's friend, but like
Yeah.
in the context of the experiments.
Yeah.
Which I think would also explain why he's like giving instructions on what to do during the FNAF 4 nights as well.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we move on to the Easter eggs unless there's more we need to talk about, you think?
I don't have anything.
You got anything?
I think I
about
said
it?
everything I wanted to bring up, so.
Okay, so in that case, the first thing we look into is the bedside stuff. So the flower, pill bottle, IV drip.
Yep.
So
Hospital stuff, but also sleeping pills, I think.
yeah, because I do find it interesting that good old Mikey from the movies takes sleeping pills.
Yeah.
That's kind of how they explain that away. This is my notorious problem with FNAF 4. I don't know how you're supposed to get Mike nightmares or Mike
You
dream.
know what I might be wondering?
When there's an IV drip that can appear behind you.
Wait, hold on.
Like, I understand that Mike Dreamer is just like, it's just real now, but
Wait, what if
in
these
the
three
context
items are
of
meant to
four-
represent the kids? You have the flowers in like the sister's room. You have the pill bottle for
Oh!
Mike, and you have the IV drip for the crying child.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yes.
actually amazing.
Like you could interpret
Wait,
it
does
that
that-
way with the context of the movies, because then you have pill
yeah,
bottle for
with the
Michael.
context of with the context of the movie, sure, but again, like with just FNAF 4, which was supposed to be the end again,
Yeah.
you never get pill bottles equal Mike.
I mean, you could still get flowers with like the sister, the IV drip with
Yeah, you can
crying
get
child,
flowers.
but the pill bottles, I don't know who you would connect to that.
Yeah, but at that point, it's so much easier to assume that all three of those are hospital items, right?
Exactly. Well, unless if crying child's in a coma, how would he be taking pills?
Yeah. He wouldn't need pills.
And it can't be all for Michael if it's Michael Dreamer, because to our knowledge, he hasn't been to the hospital to have an
Yeah,
IV
he doesn't
drip.
need an IV drip.
Because I know we're only talking like in the context of FNAF 4, but I do think the movie was trying to like expand on what the pill bottles meant.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
I honestly, I think if we take the context
Okay.
of the movie, it is what I just said, but in the context of now, who the hell knows?
If you could identify those pills as sleeping pills, then you could like try to make it easier. So it's like, oh, someone's trying to force themselves to sleep, so someone's trying to experience these nightmares, and then maybe you can get to Mike. But
Yeah.
that's stretchy as hell still.
I would just say,
Which is
if you
again
use
what Mike
modern
does
lore.
in the movie though.
Yeah,
I'd
it's what he
say-
does in the movie, but
I'd say modern lore, it works. At the time of FNAF 4, it does not.
yeah, I agree.
I think it's something that could have been like one of the changes Scott said he made throughout time with these first four games.
Yeah.
Because Mike is definitely heavily associated with taking pills, specifically sleeping pills. And what do we see in FNAF 4? Pill bottle. So,
I think it's definitely like he just wanted to expand upon it like when he made the film.
yeah, so I'd say with the movie. Someone said, why are they ignoring me? Oh, where's your message?
Oh. My bad.
Sorry, I haven't been reading chat.
Are we using the wiki to figure out lore?
We're only looking at the images
No.
from in-game.
Oh wait, he also said, how old do you think Mike Schmidt is?
And what time?
Yeah, which game?
Which game do we think?
Or are you talking about the movie?
Yeah, if you're talking about the movie, I'd say he's like mid-20s.
Yeah, I'd say he's like 25, 6.
The novel actually said he was 25. So
Ah, okay, well, there we go.
Yes, there we go. So, I would say these can all be hospital items. So, for the bedside, all are hospital items. Flowers, pill, bottle, IV drip. The thing that makes me wonder is that if this is supposed to be the three Afton kids, why would Elizabeth be referenced in the FNAF 4 area, if that's the case?
yeah, because she doesn't really have anything to do with the dreams, I don't think.
The one thing I've always wondered is what if these are happening while Michael's like dead with Ennard inside of him?
Oh,
That's
we
one
got
thing I've
Sun.
always wondered. Because then you would have the spirits in there, technically inside of him.
Yeah, that's true. And that would explain why, like, there's an Elizabeth reference as well.
Exactly. So that's kind of something I've wondered. Have I found evidence for it? No. But I've wondered.
Oh, wait. In terms of age, I'm talking about how old Mike Schmidt is in FNAF 1. I don't know why you're saying which game, because FNAF 1 is his only appearance.
Movie.
And that, everyone, is just a theory.
The game!
A game theory! You know what we need to do?
Yeah,
We
I
need
guess,
to get
I guess
Jim
25.
Ross. I mean, it depends on how old you would think he would be in the FNAF 4 minigames in that case, honestly. And then when you think FNAF 1 takes place. So I'd say 18
I'll just say
plus.
25. Why not? We'll go with 25, I
Yeah.
decided.
I don't think it's really something we could solve. I don't think we can really solve that without knowing when FNAF 1 solidly takes place the year, and in which we also figure out Mike's age, at least in 1983. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, why is Phone Guy's message so distorted? And it's because he's dead. That's another thing I've wondered.
Oh yeah, I do actually have a couple things to say about the phone guy call.
Me too.
I do too, but I will not be saying them because someone's making a video on it, and I'm gonna let them rock.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say my thing if that's okay.
Yeah, say
go
your
for it.
thing. I'm just not gonna say what I think.
Okay, so in the movie, when Mike has the dreams, he plays like nature sounds and stuff like that. And when they like go to the dream sequences, we actually still hear those exact same nature sounds he's playing in the dreams.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I was trying to think, like, would that mean he's playing the FNAF 1 call while sleeping in FNAF 4? And another thing in the movie is that when he's in the FNAF 1 location, he says he feels closer to his brother. So if he's having the dreams to like get like closer to his brother, then that might be why he plays the FNAF 1 call, because that place reminded him of his brother.
Interesting.
Very similar to my thought that I cannot say.
Yeah, no, I didn't know you could like hear in the movie.
I didn't know that
yeah.
either. That's really cool.
If you play like the first time where he dreams,
That's
when it
really
like
weird,
goes into
then.
the dream sequence, it
'Cause then
still
if
plays
that-
those same
If
sounds.
we're referencing the pill bottle to Mike in the movie, we're referencing the audio still playing like in the dream world, and we have the FNAF 1 phone call as a reference to Mike as well.
Yeah.
What if our FNAF
Oh,
1
and another
movie
thing-
is our FNAF 4 movie?
I've actually been saying that. I do think there's a lot of FNAF 4
I'm really
stuff
excited
in the
to
movie.
do the notes of importance for the FNAF movie. Sadly, I can't do it on stream because otherwise Universal Studios is going to put my head on a stake, but...
You'll get
Right.
for that one.
Because there's
but-
actually another thing as well. There in the movie, every time there's like a shot of Mike's house, we hear dogs barking in the background, which is
Okay,
also another thing
what,
we hear.
Libra? You put that on hold. Whether you like it or not, you're being forced to watch the FNAF movie with me.
I'm actually okay with that.
You are being forced, okay? I don't know when, but you do not have a say in it.
I'm actually okay with that.
Okay, let's move
I'd have a
on
lot
from
to
this, because
say.
otherwise we're gonna really get into some movie stuff that I would love to just save as we go through the movies to be like, whoa, I can hear it
Okay.
now.
Fair enough.
So, okay, we have the rare sound. So there's 3 sounds. It's demonic laughter, which is similar but not identical to Nightmare Fredbear, a demonic breath, and a dog barking. I know they have the audio files in here. They have the dog barking, they don't have the other ones. So, which is weird that they don't have the other ones. So I'm not going to trust it.
Yeah.
Do we think the dog barking would mean anything?
Not really.
I just think it means there's dogs barking outside his house.
The thing is,
Yeah.
I do want to say it is something important to note, because there are some people who think the FNAF 4 experience take place underground, which if there is outside stuff,
That would
I
mean
don't-
It's probably not underground.
exactly. And one
I
thing
mean, it
I've
could be
always heard,
recording.
I will say this, and either it's because I was just hallucinating as I was playing FNAF 4, or something else, but whenever I was playing FNAF 4, I swear I would always hear gravel moving like a car was pulling in, and like a highway far away.
Oh, yeah, that I'm also pretty sure is... Yeah, I've heard that in the game, like a car driving.
Yeah, so I'm not insane.
No, you're not
Oh, I
insane.
don't want to say all that.
Well, actually, you're a little insane.
Well, I mean,
but-
I'm insane, but I'm not like in like the deepest depths of like the insane asylum insane.
Whoa!
Wow, what friends y'all are.
Good job, Libra.
Wow, you what, ban? Chat ban them.
I'm banned.
Okay, so we have okay, so I'll torture myself and sit in FNAF 4 later, and I will report on that. But I think for now, I would say we can hear dogs barking, so this would imply that it takes place above ground.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, they say it's underground because of dittophobia.
Yeah, there's so much weird stuff.
But I think the gameplay is a dream, not the actual experiments. So
One thing I wonder, what if the dogs barking and stuff like that is just like another thing that like Mike's hearing as he's asleep, if this is like him sleeping. Like,
yeah,
there's
that's
just like
what
a
I
stray
think.
dog outside of the FNAF 1 location as he's sleeping.
That was why I was bringing up the movie again earlier.
All right, we also, okay, so there's two more things. We have the William Afton thing with him putting the spring bodysuit on someone, and the 1983 Fredbear and Friends television show.
Yeah.
So do we think these mean anything? Wait, there's some more things we should look at for FNAF 4 before we end the stream. We should look at the, you know when Matt Pat was doing that stream and Scott was posting a bunch of stuff?
We saved that for next
Yes.
time. We're saving
Yes.
that for next time.
We're saving that for next time? Okay.
Dude,
Okay.
we are not talking about Toy Chica's beak tonight.
We're talking about Toy Chica's beak and the fact that they showed Toy Chica's feet in the movie trailer.
I do have ideas on what all of those mean that are not dream theory.
Yeah, same. So, okay, I think in this case, I think with William, I mean, it's purple guy. It's basically the purple guy sprite is a little more detailed. Putting a spring bodysuit on someone in a dark room.
Yeah. Also shows he works at the restaurant. If
Yeah,
that's...
so...
Because that is something we didn't technically know at the time as well. Because it was before the Silver Eyes came out, so he wouldn't have known at the time.
Yeah, that he worked.
Yeah.
Because it is a
Then
dark
Fredbear
room.
and Friends, 1983, takes place in 1983.
One thing I've always said, though, if this is a TV show, what are the odds this does take place later and this is just a copyright because it was made in that year? I don't think Scott would think that far ahead, but it's something I always throw out there.
There's that. But I think Scott also confirmed it was 1983 on the Matt Pat video thing.
You know, what am I on about? Fredbear's closed in 1983, man. I'm just stupid.
Bro is not smart.
All right, we don't talk about it. I think that might
Let's
be
talk
everything.
about your intellect.
We are not talking about my intellect on stream, okay?
Or saving the other stuff for a different stream, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so we will do the FNAF 4 kind of like FNAF 4 like Scott teasers, I'll call them, and the mini games.
Okay.
In another stream. So I'll plan that out with y'all because I'm doing FNAF World on. Right, I have a lot of these next coming weeks planned out, so it might be a little bit, but who knows? Maybe I could schedule it like on a Wednesday or something or whatever.
Just let me know one, and I can try to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to I'll schedule with y'all afterwards. Otherwise, I think that might be everything. So
Yeah, I think that might be all for now.
Okay, I will put these in the folder. Cool. So if you guys would like to see these docs after stream, I will be putting them in a folder. And well, not the FNAF 4 one. You'll see the FNAF 3 one. You can go into the One More Night charity Discord. Yes, that is available to people. There's a community one. I should have mentioned that.
Join it.
Yeah, feel free to join it. It's in the note stuff in the, I think it's just called Freddy's Green Room. It'll say notes, and you can find the folder there in which you could find the FNAF 1 notes, the FNAF 2 notes, and the Return to the Pit notes. Over time, I will be doing all the books. I will be doing the movies, because by the time I get through the books and everything, the second movie should be out. And
yeah,
all the games, including Into the Pits game and any other future Mega Cat Studio games we may get, like Fetch. And what other FNAF media that's important to the lore. So
5 laps at Freddy's.
No! I don't want.
You ready for that one?
No.
Prepare.
I was actually thinking about that one earlier today.
I will do that when the full game comes out. I value my sanity.
Fair enough.
All right, so are we calling it there?
Yeah, I might
think
talk
so,
with
yeah.
chat just a little bit, just to, kind of see, you know, what they want in the future, and also kind of talk about, like, the upcoming streams, because I do have a bunch of stuff planned.
Good luck.
Good. I am gonna go eat because I'm
Yeah.
And go to bed at a decent time, the both of you, aka Crying-Eyed.
Don't tell me what to do.
Why'd you get
I'm
so
gonna be heading
close to your mic?
My fault.
Like, dude, that was eerily like, don't you tell me what to do.
Don't you dare tell me what to do.
We need to get a Crying-Eyed ASMR episode.
Yeah, dude. All right, next one. Next one, I'll get real close to the mic the whole time.
Perfect.
I'll do this the whole stream for you. You just let me know what to say.
I always love, like, when we're editing the streams, just the chaos that happens for a little bit. I always love it.
I'm gonna go eat.
All right, you have a good one, Cryo. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, that's what I do.
You too, Lee.
Thanks for having me on the... Thank you. Thanks for having me on the stream.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I will also get going now.
All right, goodbye.
Goodbye.
God, what a bunch of losers. Okay. Anyways, so, all right. Pizzaplex timeline when? Probably after I read the Tales books. I don't know. Like, I'm probably going to be doing a lot more theories once I get through the books too, on like book theories. Who do you think is older, Crying Child or Elizabeth? I almost want to say Crying Child because if we, well, I almost want to say they're pretty close. I think they could be only a year apart. But yeah, chat, I'm going to talk to y'all for like a little bit, like 5-10 minutes, because I like talking with y'all. Y'all are fun to talk with. Mike Schmidt and Fritz Smith. What if they're the same person? But honestly, I'm thinking, so next week, actually, there's a couple things I need to announce. I don't know if you saw my post. But I have FNAF Help Wanted Part 8 and 9 coming out tomorrow. I have the finale coming out Wednesday. I have a stream with Terminal Error, Cosmic Star, and Charlie Emini for the FNAF World Note stream. On Sunday, I'm playing the Bunny Graveyard, and who knows, that might end up being a part 2 depending on how long the game is. Then on the next Monday, I have a new theory coming out called Mike Helpy. I don't think I have anything planned for that Wednesday. Friday, I think I'm playing Bushside Rangers, and then Sunday there's nothing happening because it should be my birthday by then, I think. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on it. I'm kind of forgetting my calendar, but hey, it happens. Then after that, we're doing another stream for Sister Location with Philly Brave, T-Dreads, and Shizu on Sister Location. And I don't think there's anything happening Wednesday. Friday, we're doing Glitched Attraction, I think. And Sunday, I think we're gonna do something. I don't know yet. Then the next week will be another theory. Then I'm hoping to do the Pizza Sim stream. I won't say who the guests are yet, but it's going to be a hectic, chaotic one. And then I'm going to be doing FNAF Forgotten Pizzeria, a fan game with some other creators, which I still need to talk to other creators about game for that. And that's kind of the month laid out. Sorry for that, but yeah. Okay, about how in the FNAF movie there's a It's Me next to... Yeah, that is true. Yes, I agree, Ernesto. FNAF theories are just theories and not facts unless confirmed by Scott Cawthon or Steel Wool Studios. I completely agree. Because there's so many people that make a theory and go really hard on it. And to the point to where if you try to talk to them, you can never change their mind. You can never have a conversation with them because they're so stuck on one idea. Because it's canon when it isn't. No theory's canon until proven by Scott. Or Steel Wool. Because they're the devs, they know the lore. Or Raven, he makes FNAF facts. No, I just write down notes. I just write down notes for y'all to theorize on. So, I'm really excited for the next coming weeks. Also, I should mention, FNAF Help 1 marks the end. It marks the end of basically weekly uploads because we're done with the games. So, it's going to be 2 uploads a month, maybe 1 a month, depending on what I have. But there's going to be streams every week. There's going to be more streams now, which I'm really excited for. So if there's any games you'd like me to play, fan games, official games, anything like that, let me know. And I'll see about getting them and playing them. I have a couple planned. I have a bunch planned, actually. I'm going to go through a lot of the, like, I guess spin-off games like Fury's Rage, Freddy in Space 2, Chica in Space, stuff like that. Fights of Candies I'm gonna do. Haunted Mimic is facts. Chico is a yellow old spare in the back. You know, do you think you could use Toy Chica's beak as like an actual weapon? Do we think that's something you could like actually physically do as a human? Like, how much force do we think it would take to actually use that thing as a weapon? Where's Matt Pat when you need him? He'd be able to calculate the PSI to stab a human skull with Toy Chica's beak. You don't say USPS. Sorry, I've been waiting on a package and it's like 2 days late and it's finally moving through network in transit to next facility, which is mine. Arriving late. You don't say. Who do I think is the fright guard? At the current moment, I'm thinking more Michael. However, after today's stream, I could see Hudson even more and how it could work. Because you'd have to see it as the fact of Scott retconning some things, though. Like, a lot of things. Like, all of the FNAF 3 calls. And, like, you'd have to remove a lot of things. Which means we would never get the information we did, which could be Scott's way of saying don't trust the FNAF 3 phone calls, which bothers me. If that's what he is trying to say. So, it's something where once I get to what we found and read it, once I get to read it, I'll be able to kind of be more confident on my interpretation of it, at least. The one thing I've always wondered, because like Hudson dies in an oven on night 2, if I remember correctly, and I've always wondered if the oven's more so meant to represent the building burning and it telling us that the FNAF 3 guard doesn't survive. So it's like, so what we found doesn't happen. What we found doesn't happen in the games, because regardless, the night guard that we play as survives all 5 nights and even goes on to the 6th night. So in that case, in the games universe, it'd be Hudson getting to the 6th and then dying in the oven being the building. The whole point of the FNAF 4 box that Mike wouldn't desecrate or disturb memories, and frights is literally the embodiment of manifestation and of memories being disturbed. I could see that. I feel like that would be mentioned in the newspaper. True. But yet again, it was a really early newspaper. Like, they didn't even know what caused it yet, so there's a chance by the time of that newspaper, did they even find Hudson's or the Bright Guard's body, if that is what happened? What do we think Nightmare and Nightmarion are? So basically, Nightmare and Nightmarion. So the replacement of the main. I'm personally thinking it is Agony. I mean, with Nightmare being Shadow Freddy in files, things like that. I think it's Shadow Freddy. Nightmarion, though, I don't know. I think Nightmarion is definitely something more of like a thing that manifested later than in FNAF 4, more so through UCN, because that's when he more so becomes canon. I would say, like, in continuity canon, that's when Nightmarion is a thing. And I think Scott's way of making Nightmarion canon is by saying that the FNAF 1 through 4 games are actually games. Bone Dude being Cassie's dad would be so cool. I think there's a lot of things with theorizing that, like, a lot of theorists don't look at. Because with theorizing, one thing I've noticed as I've gone through like these note streams and like T-Dread's overanalyzing streams and things like that is that, like, the best way to theorize is to not come in at like security breach and know the things that happen but theorize on security breach. The best thing to do is to go from the beginning and work your way and write notes as you go along, so that, like, when you notice something like, oh, in FNAF 2 this happened, in FNAF 3 it's happening again, that's a connection there that maybe no one else has noticed or very few have noticed, and thus could lead you on to something that could actually help the community solve some more things. Like, right eye theory is something to note. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, is that I do think it's important to go from the beginning to the end and think of, like, when Scott was making FNAF 1, what was he telling us? When he was making FNAF 2, what was he telling us? 3, 4, sister locations, so on and so forth. That's kind of what I think of it, honestly. Because when you figure out what Scott was trying to tell you in a game, you can see how it changes. And it makes it easier to decipher some of the weird things he was trying to do. Because for sure, in FNAF 3, that Springlock suit meant from the sister location with the multiple simultaneous Springlock figures was definitely not from Circus Baby's Pizza World. It was a sister location. That game was not planned. But then as you go and look at the context of sister location, the game, then you get this like sense of, okay, a spring lock suit wasn't used for its intended purpose. There was multiple simultaneous spring locks that failed at a sister location. I can draw the connection now that it was from Circus Baby's Pizza World. This is the suit that had multiple simultaneous spring lock failures. Things like that. Or like even today with the FNAF 4, the bedside stuff. Before you wouldn't be able to connect pills to Mike. Now you can. So like, it shows that these things either get context added or have been changed over time. I don't know, that's my yap sesh though. What do y'all think? Yeah, I agree, Hans. Like, it does feel like, yeah, dead end job. You know, like, I can't do my, game, so I'm gonna make a job about having dreams of being in a dead end job. I could see that. And FNAF 2 is like a little cuter and stuff like that, but with a lot of dark stuff hidden in the back, like Scott's life, like he was in a pit, money-wise and stuff like that, but things started looking up. Business is great in FNAF 2. Like, I can definitely see Scott's own life kind of influencing, like, maybe themes of the games. I could definitely see that. Which might be something we should look at. What was Scott's life at the time of making these games and releasing them? Like, I think that kind of starts to change later on, obviously. But I think FNAF 1 for sure, I could see that, yeah. Exactly. Honestly, that's a good thing to point out, Hans. Now, lore-wise, would it mean much to us? No. But it's a cool thing to kind of point out, It's a cool thing to point out. But I don't think it mean anything lore-wise, obviously. FNAF is about Scott wanting to work at Chuck E. Cheese, but he was rejected and was petty about it. Dude, imagine if that's actually what happened. Actually imagine if that's what happened. Oh, yeah. So, I do want to say something. I was teasing it a little bit on Terminal Error Stream. I've been teasing it a little bit in the One More Night community server, which I'll post a link to it. Or if you want, you can type !Discord. The thing that I've been teasing has something to do with One More Night. All I will say is that somewhere at the end of the year, most likely, something's happening with it. And I'm really excited for it. But I can't say what. All I have to say is green. So. I hope y'all are excited for it. I'm going to keep teasing it because it's something I've never even thought I'd do in my life. So I'm excited for it. Green. I mean, is there really anything I could say about it? Is there anything I really could say about it? No, let's look in the private server. Is there anything I could say about it? Nah, you know what? I know what I could. It's gonna be very challenging. There you go. gonna be very challenging. Also, I do want to say Rem was not able to make it, so don't worry, Rem will be on a future stream. Rem is dealing with some health issues, so do not be angry at him. Rem needs rest. So, don't worry. I will get Rem in the future for one of these. I promise. And I don't know when I'll do a part 2. I'll see about doing a part 2 soon. I might do one Wednesday. I'll talk to them. Is there any games y'all would like me to play, by the way? Or any topics you want me to cover? Because, like, one thing that I want to was, like, what topic do you want me to cover? Whether it be in a theory, a live stream. It could be a theory, a video game. Is there anything you guys want me to cover? Because I don't think I've really ever asked that. You know, one thing I hate about stream delay is that you have to wait for it to catch up for people to hear what you just said, so that then you can see what their responses are. Also, probably, like, once we reach the 2-hour, 30-minute mark, I'm going to call it quits. And take off. Boom, boom. I know, it's literally the worst about delay. I am really happy with the community that we've all built, though. With how chill it is. Because, I will say too often, FNAF, there's a lot of anger. Like, I used to get angry over theories, but I just kind of was like, what's the point? Just listen to them. Maybe they got something to say that you never even thought of, and it'll change your mind. Could be MCI 83, 85, 87, 93, 2000, 2015. It could be play Huntsman. No. Do the ghosts age? They don't age. Chica sounding old would be her voice box. So the spirits don't age. I don't think we ever have any evidence of a spirit aging, actually. A Dandy's World theory? What's that? All right, I think Nightmare and Nightmare are actually just that. Nightmares were sort of Crime Child's Williams nightmares. Before I tell you what I think they represent, I want you to guess. Probably the most traumatic moments in their lives. Something they both have a connection to as well. We have Nightmare, if you believe Midnight Motorist 83 and Crying Child seeing Charlie's body, there's Nightmare trauma from that. Shadow Freddy with William, that could be so many things. But I think they would have a connection to them. Because you would have, you know, Crying Child Scared of Fredbear and stuff like that. I have not noticed that similarity between DCI and Follow Me. I think I have, actually. It's just never really at the forefront of my mind. I have done a 1984 theory. Not with MCI, it was with Circus Baker's Pizza World being in 1984. Because it just makes it easier to slot in than saying it's in 83. Because then you have to think, oh, well, is it here, there, or where in 83? Or same with 85, is it here, there, or where? Well, no, vampires do age. They just don't die from age. Because the kid would grow to be an adult, and then they would keep aging, but they do eventually get old. They do get gray hair, things like that. They just don't die from old age. Thoughts on Cry Knight's Give Gifts, Give Life video. He was talking to me about that for so long before it came out, and at first I thought he was absolutely crazy. But then we were talking more about it, and I started to understand what I was like, I could genuinely see it. It's a theory that I could see. Obviously, I don't think any theories can, but it's one that I can see. And be like, yeah, if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised. Are you talking with vampires like when they're turned into a vampire? That I don't know that much with vampires. I just know like if you're a born vampire, you do age. And since that baby is Vlad's, the baby would be born a vampire. So. Well, Puppet does attack the player in FNAF 3. In a way. Because otherwise, if Puppet doesn't, Mangle doesn't either. Though it is interesting to... It is important to point that out, though, Seeker, is that there are some weird similarities between Shadow Freddy and the Puppet. With Follow Me, Nightmare replacing Nightmare, Lefty is a black bear that the Puppet gets trapped in. The FNAF 3 one, though, the regular Puppet one doesn't. True. So you could see that. If you're going with that, yeah. But the Puppet still technically does attack the player, just not Puppet, more like Hallucination Phantom Puppet, which is kind of weird. So I think that is something important to note, Seeker, and I think that is something I will look into in the future. I think that is something to note. Because I forget what book it was. It might have been the Character Encyclopedia, I don't remember. But it said something like keep an eye out for Shadow Freddy as he could pop up or something like, or it was something along those lines like he could appear in the future. And if that's the case, we're seeing these Nightmarion plushes. If Nightmarion and Shadow Freddy are just one and the same, there he is. So I went way over that 5-minute mark. So I'm actually gonna I'm gonna hop off stream. However, I will send the Discord link for you all to join. Let me grab it real quick. Okay, chat. Join the Discord, 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 join the One More Night Discord. You can talk about your theories, you can promote your stuff. Join. Join it. Join the Discord. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's all I have for today. I need to get off. Otherwise, I'm going to be up like really late because it's almost 9 and I need to start winding down for bed and stuff like that. Hey, Connor. Yeah, Connor, you're already in here. Yeah, that's right. And also, thank you so much, Connor. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Cryo and Libra, for joining. It was a lot of fun. We're going to do a part 2 because we still have the mini games to go to. We also have the FNAF 4 FNAF World teasers that Scott made during the map patch stream to go through. So yeah, absolute joy, and I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please do hit that like, subscribe button. I have not seen FNAF's Midnight Motors video. I have not been able to watch a lot of people's videos because I've been super busy, but if you enjoyed this stream, hit that like, subscribe button, because I have a goal of 4,000 subs by the end of, at this point, next month, because it's the end of the month. While you're at it, comment down below anything in the whole wide world. Just remember to keep it kind, calm, respectful, and that everything in here is just a theory and our interpretation. Share this with your friends and families. Every single bit helps. Without further ado, I hope you all enjoyed. Have a great day. Stay safe. And peace out.